Link everything you do, everything you love, everything you are with Linktree. One link to share your entire digital universe and connect your audience to what matters most. Everything you create, curate, and sell, all in one link. Link everything you are with Linktree.
Guys, I'm in the building. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out to another chaotic truth. Guys, we're gonna have a great, and I mean awesome Saturday. Again, guys, this is White History Month. But guys, nevertheless, salute to you guys. We are coming up on the 4th of July. We have a great, and I mean an awesome guest that is in the house for tonight. We have Security Boss. Guys, please go and subscribe to Security Boss. She is an awesome, and I mean awesome content creator. Guys, tonight we're going to be discussing some very, very controversial topics. Eugenics. Candice, I'm going to go over a video from Candice Owens, obviously. Eugenics, Roe v. Wade. And we're going to talk about Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner. And for all of you who don't know, Brittney Griner is the MVP of the WNBA. I'm pretty sure that none of you guys know who she is or what the WNBA is. But nevertheless, she is famous in terms of women's basketball. And she plays overseas in Russia. She plays overseas in Russia to earn more money because, you know, the WNBA pays about the same salary as an Amazon warehouse worker. So nevertheless, she has to go to she has to go to Russia to play overseas. But nevertheless, she was caught with hash. I don't smoke dope, so I'm assuming hash is marijuana, which I'm assuming is very, very illegal in Russia. But she was caught with it, and she is on trial now. She's been in a Russian jail for 5 months now. February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, about 5 months now. She currently is on trial, and she is facing up to 10 years. And more than likely, unfortunately, she probably will serve some time. She will go to the gulag. But guys, please call in tonight, guys. Me and Security Boss are going to only bring up one guest at a time. We know how you people, and I don't mean black people, but you people are when it comes to big panels. So just one at a time, one guest at a time. And we're going to have fun tonight. But again, guys, positivity to you all. Security, what say you? You want to give a shout out real quick before I get into the positive affirmations? And I'm so glad that you're here, Security. Happy 4th of July. This is a beautiful month. And this is a time for working out, running, exercising, etc. But what say you? Salute to you.
I just want to say thank you for having me over here tonight on the live. And I just want to definitely salute to everyone in the comments section and all of you that were going to come up, make those calls, ask those questions. And to you too, Chaotic, for just talking about these subjects.
Absolutely.
I'm all in about nuclear family relationships and things like that. So this is different for me. So I'm going to be here learning and giving my opinion also. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Security. And we already got a super chat already. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Gary. Gary says, good evening, Chaotic and unsolicited security boss. He says, let's get it. Gary, thank you so much for your membership. You are an awesome, awesome member. And I cannot wait until we mingle on our first cocktails with Chaotic. Security boss, this is a once a week members only event. For members only. If anybody wants to become a member, just join the channel. And basically, it is open conversation. It does not have to deal with conservative talking points. Just anything you want to talk about while we're having cocktails. Or if you want to have a beer, preferably IPA. If JVJ is listening, I'm assuming that he's going to be drinking malt liquor. But nevertheless, are you a drinker, SB? Do you mind if I ask you that? You don't. I know you don't drink beer. That's not a. You're a classy lady, so I know you don't drink that.
I do not drink, but I will, partake in a little wine on occasion. But no, absolutely. I do not. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah. I asked my mom a few weeks ago. I was at my parents' house, and I asked my mom. My mom was going to the store, and I didn't feel like going. And I asked my mom to bring back a beer. She said, "Absolutely not. What kind of woman am I to have a beer in my hand at a checkout line?" So there are a lot of women like that do not buy canned beer. But nevertheless. Me and my dad ended up going to the store and we got a 6-pack of Steel Reserve. I'm just playing. He got the Steel Reserve. I bought some Corona. I don't drink that. But thank you so much, Gary, for the $10 super chat, guys. You are so awesome. Gary, positivity and happy 4th of July to you, Gary. We got everybody in the building tonight, guys. Please bombard the chat with commentary, questions, concerns. You guys are extremely awesome. You guys have been hitting the chat. So Yo is Shannon D, Dante. We have This World Is Off the Chain. We have ARC in the building. We have Ebony in the building. We have True Crime Bloke in the building all the way from the UK. We have A Normal Man. Guys, positivity is definitely coming your way. Positivity, again, guys, is a wave within the universe, just like a radio wave, guys. When you pick up the signal, just like a radio signal, you pick up you want to listen to jazz. You want to feel in a good mood, you turn to that station, you turn that dial. It's frequency. So just like with positivity, just turn that dial and you will receive positivity and send it back out within the universe. We got Gold Standard in the building. We have Crazy Chick Sheena in the building. Damn the Luck is here. Mike from Boston is here. We got Patricia from here, all the way from Nigeria. Well, she's not all the way from Nigeria, but she is Nigerian. But salute to you, Baoni, my Yoruba sister. Doris is in the building. Marcus is in the building. Sweet Lady, my love, is in the building. We have Welcome to the Asylum is in the building. Guys, positivity is definitely coming your way. We have Nude Guru in the building. Positivity to you guys. Candice Owens has been hot on the YouTube streets, hot on the news circuit. She is, in my opinion, one of the greatest modern commentaries on political issues in the last 25 years. She is a young woman she's making impressive inroads in the conservative conversation. She is not well received in the urban community, but as we all know, the urban community tends to be in a lot of disarray. And with a woman as classy, as prestigious as Candice Owens, I believe that she should be the example of what a woman should be, not just for the urban community, but for the greater community overall. Security boss, do you know anything about Candice Owens? And if you do, can you expound upon her as well? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I know who Candice Owens is. She's she's a conservative. She's a Republican. She often speaks the truth. She tells you those things that are like no one says.
Yeah.
So she doesn't come so politically correct, but she does. So sometimes the truth kind of, it cuts. Truth without love kind of cuts, but it's still the truth.
Yeah.
So that's who she is.
Yeah.
But, I appreciate the things that she says because those are the things that, just in case you didn't know, those type things.
Absolutely. Candice Owens is very classy. She's very refined. And unfortunately, in this social media generation, this OnlyFans generation, a lot of women especially want to shake their ass. And when you have a woman like Candice Owens is a constant reminder, a constant conservative reminder of what a woman should be. And I think that to a person who's on OnlyFans shaking that booty, I think that what happens is that the OnlyFans model, the Instagram model, the TikTok model becomes ashamed of her behavior. And this is not just for women, even for men. When you look at a person like, I'm going to use Ben Shapiro, a conservative man who's about family values, you will be shamed if you are not a man of that caliber, if you're not pursuing a nuclear family, if you're not pursuing conservative values. And I believe this is why so many people are mad at conservatives. Conservatives are a constant reminder of what you should behave like, because conservatives tend to be more orderly, in my opinion. Now, guys, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, you can feel free to cam up, give your opinion and perspective. Security boss, go ahead. I'm going to get this video queued up, by the way. Go ahead.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. Conservative people who have conservative values seem to be more disciplined and more order. And they do tend to be, lots of times, they think they're better or, just because you don't participate in all those things. It's just that for me, when people tell me your brain fries with drugs, I believe it. So I don't need to try things. So, I kick, so I have a belief system that keeps me in order. So again, you're right. That is why.
Absolutely. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first video. This is the Candice Owens video, and it's a snippet of many videos that she does. And basically, in this video, she is exposing the hypocrisy of the liberals, the hypocrisy of those on the left. The liberals, they cry, or they've been crying afoul about the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Now, think about this. A lot of liberals are anti-eugenics. They're anti-eugenics. But Planned Parenthood was founded on eugenics principles. So when you're talking to a liberal, just remind them of that, by the way. Security boss, you saw the video, or, do you want to say anything now, or do you want me to wait? Or do you want to wait?
No, I saw the video, but either way, go ahead and show it again.
Absolutely. This is the video of the lovely Candice Owens. Please subscribe to her page if you have not. That is Candice Owens. And she is talking about Planned Parenthood being founded on the principles of eugenics.
If you are going to run your profile, please donate to Planned Parenthood. Because this decision has been overturned, then I expect you as a pro-choicer to recognize. If you are going to put on your profile, please donate to Planned Parenthood. Because this decision has been overturned, then I expect you as a pro-choicer to recognize.
It wasn't planned, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
It's not planned, is it?
No, it's planned. I can hear it.
Okay, I can't see it on my end.
Why are you asking?
Like the video? Actually,
if you are going to put on your profile, please donate
planned.
to Planned Parenthood. Because this decision has been overturned, then I expect you as a pro-choicer to recognize the true history of Planned Parenthood, to recognize that it was created by a eugenicist, that the entire concept of abortion was created during the progressive era, largely led by Margaret Sanger at the time that they were also performing appendectomies to Black people to make sure that they couldn't give birth, who wanted to use abortion as a mechanism to get rid of undesirables. So if they thought that a certain class of people should not procreate, and you can go back and you could read Margaret Sanger's writings, they were considered unfit in society. Black people, they did not want them to procreate and have families, so they encouraged them.
Why are you asking a gay man as to what it means?
That was the end of it.
On your profile, please donate to Planned Parenthood. Because this decision has been overturned, then I expect you as a pro-choicer to recognize the true history of Planned Parenthood, to recognize that it was created by a eugenicist, that the entire concept of abortion was created during the progressive era, largely led by Margaret Sanger at the time that they were also performing appendectomies to Black people to make sure that they couldn't give birth. Who wanted to use abortion as a mechanism to get rid of undesirables. So if they thought that a certain class of people should not procreate, and you can go back and you could read Margaret Sanger's writings, they were considered unfit in society. Black people, they did not want them to procreate and have families, so they encouraged them to get abortions and told them that this was the right decision for them to make. It wasn't just Black people, by the way. During that time, it was largely people that were from Southern Europe. Italians were considered undesirables. If you are going to put on your profile, please donate to Planned Parenthood.
So what do you think about that, security boss?
You know what? I think there's some very good information.
Yeah.
I think that there's something that we needed to know.
Yeah.
I think it may take, it may take someone a minute, but they have to process that and go look at the letters because she wrote them.
Yeah.
She told all her intentions on what she was trying to do. So it's there. It's true. It was not just Blacks.
Yeah.
She talked about Asians or Chinese people, or Italians. Yeah. It was anybody that they viewed undesirable. So it was evil. She was an evil woman.
Yeah. Well, here goes the thing. So I saw some liberal kooks in my city last night. They were marching and protesting about the Roe v. Wade being overturned. And security, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I try my best to avoid liberals at all costs. To me, they're very vile people. Their logic goes all the way out the window. And at times they can become very violent with you in conversation. So the fact is that what Candice Owens is pretty much saying is that there are individuals like liberals who do not believe that the government should have a say-so in whether or not you should get an abortion or not. But you speak to these same liberals. They tell you that they abhor eugenics, the idea of selective breeding, the idea of this, that, and the other. So if they are supporting Planned Parenthood, then that means that they are supporting the original foundation of what it was built on, which was eugenics by Margaret Sanger. This is another point as to why I stay away from liberals. Because, again, you call them out on their BS from the get-go. The fact of the matter is that you have these hippies, these Pan-Africanists, these individuals who are pretty much, in my opinion, Looney Tunes. They are involving themselves in or creating situations, in my opinion, based off of emotion and a skewed point of view. The fact of the matter is that hundreds of millions of Black babies have been aborted, but you will have liberals, especially white liberals. They will protest and march about pro-choice. But ask them, well, what do you think about all these Black babies that weren't born? Just ask them. Ask them what they think. Because these same hippies, these same liberals, on their front lawn will have Black Lives Matter. They will have Black Lives Matter, a little banner on their front, on their property. So not we, because you guys can do whatever you want to do, but it is my objective as a conservative content creator to expose the hypocrisy of these people at all costs. So now, do I agree with eugenics? Oh, absolutely. But I do not agree with abortion. I agree with selective breeding. Now, on the other hand, liberals, especially the lunatics who are marching, they don't agree with, I don't agree with abortion. No, they agree with abortion. But ask them, do you agree with eugenics too as well? Because here goes my thing. If you agree with abortion, that means that you absolutely will have to agree with eugenics as well. Because why wouldn't you want the baby to be here? Because the baby is actually in the stomach. Whereas my point of view is that, well, you know what, that 500-pound female down the street, yeah, maybe I shouldn't even talk to her because I don't want to down the line have a kid. I don't know which aspect of eugenic thinking is worse, But I think a more conservative approach is better. You know what? She weighs 700 pounds. Overweightness runs in her family. I don't think I want to breed with her. Instead of, well, she's already pregnant. Let me get rid of the baby. See, I think that's the approach that the liberals take. Does that make any sense? I'm talking. Go ahead.
It makes good sense because what you're saying, well, let's just say this. Here in the United States, and it could be more places, but I've only lived here. Most individuals are very self-seeking.
Yeah.
And only when it applies to me or us, myself, does it make a difference. Meaning that no matter what somebody else is doing, no matter how many other babies are being deleted or terminated or whatever you want to say, it really doesn't matter until it actually affects me. And then I have a voice about it. So in other words, nobody else, they don't care.
Yeah.
When you talk about, now listen, the theory of eugenics is kind of something that everybody does.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You wouldn't date if you weren't married, you wouldn't date a midget, right?
Well, I mean,
let's be honest. 3 feet tall.
That wouldn't be my choice, but there is somebody that does. So anyway, it's kind of like a selective thing that we do unconsciously. Yeah. If you had a choice, you wouldn't, if you had a choice. So I get that part, but to put something in process, to process something or to delete babies in order to create this is where have just fallen off the mountain.
Okay.
Or to delete a race of people, or to say these people are undesirable. They shouldn't even we can't even breed with these people because they're this and they're that. That's just totally wrong. So it goes back to me to the beginning. And I just think this goes to the fact that liberals are saying this because they're not affected themselves. They think by eugenics, affected by it, because in their minds, this is not something that is practiced now. But wait a minute. But the reality is there are still countries and people out there that are putting what do you call it? Marriages, when they put the marriage together. What do you
a dowry?
Well, no, what is the actual marriage called when you arranged marriage? Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me for getting that. Arranged marriages. All this is created on this family. They create this. Their brain is this. Their status is this. More than likely, my child is going to be this way, and that's exactly how it's done. So it's still being somewhat done. It's just not a procedure to say these are undesirables. You wouldn't want to breed with them. Well, let me share something with you.
Go ahead.
There was a doctor that he was a fertility doctor
in Indiana. Yeah.
I don't know exactly where he was, but his name was it Jacobson or something like that.
Yeah.
He actually he actually fathered 75. Well, that's how many they know of, 75 children. And he said he got an award, a Nobel Prize for quality control. Do you know that?
Really?
Yes, for quality. I'm thinking, wait a minute. And he only, they figured that was only, what did they charge him with? It wasn't a crime. It was like something that was so non-related. It's like, well, how do you not? This is like, so he inseminated many women with his own sperm and nobody said anything about it.
Yeah. This
is crazy. I was like, what about the mothers? And he even replaced some of their husband's sperm.
And it was a famous case out of Indiana. It's actually on Netflix. The guy believed that his genes were obviously superior. And particularly because he's a doctor. When he met the children that he fathered, he treated them. I mean, obviously he didn't treat them like they were his kids, but he asked them, "What is your profession? What is your profession?" This, that, and the other. But yeah, you guys, check out that documentary. I can't think of the name of it right now, but if anybody that's a mod in the chat, please look it up real quick. Now we do have a few people in the back. Now, guys, we're gonna have to do 1 or 2 questions at a time. It's a lot of people in the back. Damn the luck. What question do you have about Candice Owens and what she said about Margaret Sanger and about eugenics? Go ahead.
Well, I think she's partly right. I think she might have eugenics slightly confused with bioethics.
Okay.
Now, eugenics is usually the perfection of the human form. It's something like Sparta practice. They would leave a kid out, and if he died, he was too weak to survive.
Okay.
But for abortions, I don't understand why someone would be pushing just to abort babies. Usually it's based on defects a lot of these abortions, these kids don't have defects. They don't even have the chance to even be scanned, for what's in their body. It's pure evil.
Let me ask you this question. So let me ask you this real question. I got to get to the next caller, okay? But let me ask you this. Candice Owens was pointing out the hypocrisy of the liberals. She was pointing out the fact that they are against Roe v. Wade being overturned, or they are against the idea that I can't choose, right, in certain states. All the while, you have a lot of liberals who abhor eugenics. What do you have to say? What do you have to say about that?
Oh, definitely. Liberals pretty much do embrace eugenics more than conservatives. It's not a very conservative thing, even though you might think so. But from what I've studied, eugenics was what came up by Plato or whatever, and it was to mix, the best genetic capacity by a formula devised by him for breeding. Just like they breed with the Colosseum. But
let me ask you this:
you don't abort babies. No.
Let me ask you this: if you were to ask a liberal, do they believe in eugenics? What would they say?
What I think they would say, because I can't tell you what they would say.
Yeah, what do you think?
They probably wouldn't even know what the word means first, and then after that, if I explained it to them, then they would probably say no.
Okay. Now, if you were to ask them about Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood and how it was founded on eugenics, what do you think a liberal would say?
First, they'd probably ask, "What the hell are you talking about?" As usual. And then they would probably be in denial.
Okay. Well, we gotta get to
Go ahead. Yeah, I know you got.
No. Hold on for a second. I gotta say something to you real quick. Damn, thank you so much. And positivity is definitely coming your way. But I do have a question for you, or maybe two questions, and I'm pretty sure Security Boss has a question for you. Do you believe in eugenics, sir, personally?
No.
You don't? Let me ask you this question. Would you have a baby with a 700-pound woman?
If I had to, I suppose.
Okay, so you don't believe in eugenics.
If I need to keep the species going, yeah.
What if you didn't need to keep the species going? What if you just met a 700-pound woman, Bridget? Go ahead.
Oh, if I loved her, then yeah, I'd do it.
Okay. Security, do you have anything to say to him?
I was just going to mention to him, damn the luck. It was Sanger. It would be the parents would be considered the undesirables. It wouldn't be the child that was being deleted. She would be basing her information off of the parents. If she considered them undesirable, then that would be where the termination would come from.
So you mean if the parents had undesirable traits?
Yes. If she felt like that, it would be like, if we're not pushing these United States forward, or if these people were not, again, what she considered or what not viable, they're not going to be of any good to the United States, then why continue to create these babies? Why continue?
Well, we need more serious birth control. I wouldn't be against, having people sterilized at birth, and they have to earn the right to have a baby. I myself was put up in the adoption system. I guess I came out good enough. But, there's so many kids in the adoption system, along with all these other kids that, people are writing checks off of. I mean, in reality, we could say with logic that, we want the perfect child and the perfect this and the perfect that. But in reality, a lot of times you don't get perfect. And you know what? It turns out you to be pretty damn great when you don't get something perfect sometimes.
Damn the luck. Thank you so much, man. I might do a panel tonight. Salute to you, sir.
You too, man. And you too, Security Boss. I'm sorry I didn't say hi.
Hey.
So we have more callers in the back. We have Dante in the back. Damn the luck. Thank you so much. Dante, do me a favor. Turn off your camera. No offense to you, sir. Me and Security are running a team here tonight. No offense to you, sir. But we just want the camera off tonight. Normally I have the cameras on, but not tonight. Nevertheless, salute to you, Damn the Luck. Security, you have anything to say about Damn the Luck and what he was saying? Do you honestly think that he would breed with a 700-pound woman? I think he's lying. He's a member of the channel. I love him to death. I respect him, but I think he's lying. I don't think he would breed with a 700-pound woman. He's a eugenicist, just like I am. And
well, listen, I think that he would if it presented itself that way in the beginning. I would say no, but if if that's something he had to do to keep this world populated, I think he would.
No.
You wouldn't do it?
No.
If someone told
700 pounds, come on, stop.
But listen, I got a good question. If someone said, listen, chaotic truth, the black man is going to be extinct in 2030.
Yeah.
I need you to have 20 kids. I need you to make 20 babies. Would you not just go make these 20 babies?
With the 700-pound woman?
With whomever. You about to be done.
Yeah.
The number of black men is so low that we need some babies, and men are not getting married. They have these alternative lifestyles. They're in prison. I need you to make 20 babies. I need you to make 20 babies this year. Yeah. What you gonna do?
I'll have to get back with you on that. 700 pounds is a lot of weight. That is 7 times how much I weigh. Dante, salute to you, sir. Happy White History Month. I beg your pardon?
I said thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Sir, what do you have to say about the whole eugenicist argument? That the video, I'm pretty sure you saw the video I just played with Candice Owens. Keep it real.
Well, I think Candice Owens is
go ahead.
He's completely right. And I was watching Just Pearly, and everybody know Just Pearly. She's a white red pill lady, and she was asking these black women, and she gave the same information that you gave about the white lady who started Planned Parenthood. And what tripped me out, and I'm not a smart dude, I'm not as elegant as you, and
sir, I am not intelligent, sir. I'm just an ape living on a rock floating in infinity. But go ahead. Thank you so much.
She gave the same facts that you gave.
Yeah.
That you just gave. You know what these black women saying? I'm African American, by the way.
Absolutely.
They said that Planned Parenthood had changed that it just changed.
Yeah.
That they didn't believe it, that the whole strategy has changed since it got progressive. And I'm looking like, damn, I'm like, liberals got us so brainwashed, especially black women. I hate to say, they got us so brainwashed that we're gonna be our own downfall. And let
me ask you this: are you a eugenicist? Keep it real.
I don't really know what that means, so I don't know.
Do you believe that? Okay, for example, I don't know if you have any children. Do you?
Yes, I have 3 boys.
Let me ask you this question: would you have ever had a child with a 1,000-pound woman?
Hell no.
Okay, so you're a eugenicist to a degree. That's what eugenicist means. You're breeding for certain qualities in your offspring, because you wouldn't want your children to be fat like that, right?
No, hell no.
Okay, so that's what eugenicist means in a nutshell. Security boss, it sounds like you want to say something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, going back to you, a 700-pound woman cannot produce a child. She, at 700 pounds, I'm almost sure her reproductive system is not working. A 1,000-pound woman, I'm probably sure her reproductive system is not working either. Why don't you make it more like, if you knew that Dante, how are you?
I'm 34.
No, not how old. I said, how are you? I'm sorry, the accent. Mine.
I am.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay.
So listen, a good question would be, I heard a young man say this earlier today. If you knew a woman was mentally ill and you found out in your dating process, would you marry and impregnate her?
Hell no.
Yeah, you probably a part of eugenics then.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing? I think that's a bad thing.
Oh, no, that's a great question because well, that's a great question because that's what the whole thing is about. We're trying to figure out from which perspective is bad. So my conservative perspective is that I believe my eugenicist beliefs are pure and moral because there is no child that is conceived yet. There's no child in the womb. So if I'm looking at 2 women, one is 1,000 pounds and one is 115 pounds, obviously I'm going to choose the 115-pound woman because of health reasons, etc. So the problem with Planned Parenthood is that you have a lot of women who are aborting their children, and Planned Parenthood was also founded on eugenics purposes, but you're actually killing a child. Make sense? Go ahead.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes 100%. And I'm from the hood. I'm still in the hood, and it's just really sad how many black babies are dying every day. And I'm glad that I live in Texas, and I'm glad that Texas got the laws now that, you know, you can't do that no more. And, you know, black women, I got a message to black women. Black women, get off of TV saying you pro-life and all this stuff. It's you just feeding in. And if it is a white supremacy, it's the liberals. So just get off of that.
Security boss, anything you want to say? We got some more callers in the back.
No, he said it. I was going to ask Dante where was he from because of his accent. So that was it. He answered. That was it.
Absolutely. Dante, thank you so much, man. I don't know if I'm going to do a panel tonight, but you are free to come back if I do, Dante. Thank you so much. All right. Yep.
Bye.
Solicited Mexican. Mira, tela conmigo.
What's up, SB? How you doing, Chaotic?
You got like 20 names. Everywhere you go, you have a different name.
I'm really good, sir. Let me ask you a question. Do you agree with Candice Owens and what she was saying about how the liberals are hypocrites for not pointing out the fact that Planned Parenthood was founded on eugenics purposes, even though a lot of liberals are anti-eugenicist? Go ahead.
I mean, it's always going to be like that. They're always known to be hypocritical or contradictory to what they are striving to be as far as their agenda. You know, people will say, oh, well, it's political this, or they'll bring the right will do this, left will do that. But as far as coming at it from a more logical sense and a more, I guess, ethical and morals, I'd have to side with her on that part. She is correct. And, you know, just like the origins of who brought it up, Planned Parenthood, it's only going to deteriorate and kind of reward, if not pay off, for people making bad choices. So hopefully now that this Roe v. Wade thing did, it's hopefully going to make sure, hey, look in the mirror to what you're going to do before you do that choice.
Security boss, do you have any questions for him?
No, but it's good to see you. No, it's good to see you. Definitely.
I got a few more questions for you, solicited Mexican boss. Are you a eugenicist yourself? Keep it real. You're a eugenicist.
Can you elaborate on that, what that means, please?
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you had a choice between breeding with an Eskimo woman or a Scandinavian beautiful white blonde woman, which one are you choosing?
Eskimos, the ones that live in igloos?
Eskimos are on average about 4'11", kind of, you know, yeah, I don't want to, but yeah, they're short, they're stocky. Go ahead.
It is. I like to base things first on character before anything else, but I guess if you're looking at it from aesthetically, I have to go with Scandinavian.
Now, why? Now, and is there a reason why? Is it because of you want your offspring to look a certain way, or go ahead?
Yes.
You're a eugenicist. That's what eugenics means.
Is that basically kind of like hypergamy of making the best seed you can get?
That's the best way to point it out. That's what eugenics is, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
But chaotic, it goes a little further though. It's the study of what we're doing is they're breeding the best genes and they're getting rid of the ones that they would consider undesirable.
Well,
I understand. Okay.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Shortness is an undesirable trait compared to being tall. I know. See, there you go. There you go. SB. There you go.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
Sir, I choose not to answer that question. Choose not to answer that.
I got you.
But let's be honest, SB. Let's be honest. Height is a more desirable trait. Tallness is a more desirable trait. There's more benefits to being taller. So, go ahead. You got the floor.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just wanting everybody to know you're just taking a part. You're after the fact. You're after the fact. So I get what you're doing. I see it. So, okay. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, let's be honest. If I'm a man, right? I don't have any children, but if I did, right? I would want my daughter to be 5'8" to 5'11", preferably a very symmetrical face, preferably thin, between 110, 125 pounds. There's a reason why. because a high value man will wife her up and provide a great life for her. That is just why I say we need to practice eugenics. Now, if I had a child that was born, or for example, if I impregnated my wife, or if somebody impregnated someone, and the doctor said, "Well, your child's gonna be 4'4", but they're 2 weeks into the pregnancy," absolutely not. That's the difference between a conservative view on eugenics and a liberal. Conservatives will still say, "You know what? I still want to have the child," whereas a liberal would say, "Well, I am pro-choice. I can pick and choose." Go ahead.
But Ms. Singer,
Because they are really practicing a different form of eugenics. Go ahead.
a different form of, okay, no, I'm understanding what you're doing now. I get it. I just wanted to put the part in there about Miss Singer, what she added, because like if you and your wife did not produce that woman or that baby girl with that asymmetric face, then what would happen to Mr. Chaotic?
Well, again, me being a conservative,
Or what would happen to the baby that you produced?
Well, with me being a conservative, I don't.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I got you.
I would have the child, of course.
Right.
But I feel like
this all sounds like hypergamy, basically, like making the best seed in the genetics and stuff.
Hypergamy is an aspect. Yes, it's in a tree of eugenics. Go ahead, though. Let me ask you a question, Solicit the Mexican Boss. Would you breed with a woman who has a family history of schizophrenia?
No.
That's eugenics.
Yeah, it was designed to create the best world ever, to move us forward. No undesirables. That's the best way to say it. No undesirables.
A more superior race, in a way, in a more superior seed.
Exactly. And that would not include myself. That wouldn't include you, probably wouldn't include some Asian, Yeah.
Thank you so much, Unsolicited Mexican Boss. You've been great. I might do a panel, so please come back.
No, he's solicited. I'm unsolicited.
Can I say one thing real quick? Yeah. I did practice my impression because you did it before of another person that was doing an impression of Tony Montana. Can I do one of?
Yeah, go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead.
I bury those cockroaches, man.
They
get you wrong, man.
Yeah, you sound really good. Yeah, sound really good.
Scarface, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. You sounded like a Chinese man making sushi. So
how dare you?
Kind of in the ballpark, even though you're not Cuban, but you're close enough. But salute to you, sir.
All right, Marcus. See ya.
Salute to you. What's going on, Lou? How you doing?
What's going on, Chaotic? What you got for us today?
I played a video of Candice Owens, and maybe I should play it again. You did not see the video.
I did not watch the video, but I can pick up wherever you want me to. I mean,
are you
have to replay it? Yes.
Okay. In what sense? Are you a eugenicist in the sense of?
Well,
go ahead.
Here's what I'll say, right? And hi to unsolicited security boss. I've been in the fringes watching you, and I really enjoy your content. Chaotic, you know what I look like, and you know how tall I am, right?
Yeah, you said it last night, yes.
Yeah, so I'm 5'5", meaning if I would want the mother to my children to be taller, I also have a tendency to gain weight, and so I would want the mother of my children to not have that tendency. Yeah. Meaning, I would want to pick my partner to counteract all of my negative genetics.
Absolutely.
To balance that so that my children can have the best chance possible. Now, that's just me because I'm practical. I know that love plays a part, right? But you have to be practical about these things. And of course, evolution will take its course and people will pick, the best mates out there just based on that alone as well. So if you put, men and women into a room, things will, people will sort themselves out based on, whoever is the best mate that they can get.
I hate to cut you off. Hate to cut you off. Not only did I get an incredible cash app from DW, DW wants me to play the South African drums. Give me a second. Sorry about that, Luke. And Lou, give me a second. And Lou, thank you so much for your. Give me a second.
I feel like I should be dancing.
Thank you so much, DW, for the Cash App. Was an incredible Cash App, by the way, that I will remain very quiet about. But thank you so much.
Dance with it, though. You gotta dance with it. Was it DW?
I have no rhythm, security boss. That's where
for you. I did it for you.
That's where my Africanness stops. Lou, please continue, sir. My apologies for cutting you off, but money talks. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
So what I was saying is that if you put people into a room, right, people will sort themselves out. In other words, and even Kevin Samuels, not to bring Kevin Samuels into this, but he always mentioned that, people will get what they can get based on who they are or what they can attract.
Yeah.
Ugly people tend to get with ugly people. Pretty people tend to get with pretty people.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are exceptions to every rule, but of course, I want my partner to offset all of my negative genetics, if that makes any sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And we all have them. So you want to pick wisely, because if you don't want your child to be fat and you have a tendency to gain weight and your partner does too, then it is what it is. More than likely, your child will have a tendency to gain weight and will be fat, especially in the United States where fast food is just running rampant.
Thank you so much, Lou. Your insight was incredible, and thank you so much, Lou. I might do a panel, and you obviously are always welcome to the panels. And thank you so much for all of your super chats that you give to the channel. And happy 4th of July. If you do not come to the panel, salute to you, sir.
I'll be here. You know me.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say, Lou, thank you for watching, and that shout out for SB. Thank you.
Yep. Guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and please share the video. It's easy. Just share it. If you would like to join me for my cocktails on Friday, where I will be at any select bar drinking Cosmopolitans, girly drinks. But nevertheless, I will be drinking cocktails, and you can ask me any questions that you like. You can, we could talk about anything. We don't have to talk about conservative conversation with anything conservative politics. We could talk about science. We could talk about math. We could talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. We could talk about dirt drying if you have to. HB, what's going on, man? Salute to you.
Salute to Chaotic, and good evening, security boss.
Yeah.
Hello.
I just want to say that I'm totally against eugenics. I think a person's
lying.
character matters way more than their physical appearance. Me personally, if I met a BBW,
would you date a girl with schizophrenia?
It depends.
Would you have a child with her?
It depends if she was a good person. If she was a friendly person, and she wanted to be with me and just me, and she had a low body count, I would definitely consider it. Definitely. If she had a beautiful personality, I would definitely consider it. I honestly think that a lot of these pseudo types of mental diseases are based in this type of, I'm not 100% sure that would necessarily equate a crazy kid. So if she was a good person, a good mother, I would overlook that than choosing a supermodel that had 1,000 bodies and just was focused on all the aesthetics and wanted all the things that the world offers her. So yeah.
Sorry, security boss, go ahead. You get the floor.
I was just going to ask, you said pseudo mental illness. What do you mean by that?
I think for a lot of these mental illnesses, they're not always based in reality. They're based on prescribing drugs, and I think a lot of times if people are met at their level and they're met with love and compassion, they might not have these types of mental illnesses. They might not they might not be as prevalent. So me personally, I'm more about the character of the person and the type of culture that they're brought up. Now, if you're brought up in this Western demonic culture, you're probably, it doesn't matter how you look, you're probably not going to you're not probably going to be a very good person to have a kid with. But if you're somebody that's, your values are based in family and raising a family, you could be a little crazy and understand that you're crazy and still be able to produce a good kid.
Would you be afraid? Would you have any concerns?
I would only be afraid if they denied it and didn't want to actually get help.
Okay.
And, that's the only time I would be afraid. And I think a lot of these, if you look at a lot of these liberals, a lot of them are a lot crazier than, a woman that is openly admitted to having schizophrenia. I would take my chances with that woman.
Well, I guess what Candice is, okay, and I want to get back to, and thank you so much for your insight, HB, but Candice pretty much was talking about the hypocrisy, especially with the left when it comes to supporting pro-choice beliefs. However, a lot of people on the left also are very anti-eugenics, when in fact, Planned Parenthood was founded on eugenics principles. This is another, not expose, but this is another exposing of the guard, or if that makes any sense, exposing the liberals for the hypocrisy that they really are. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no, a lot of their beliefs are based in hypocrisy. They're based in chaos. They're not based in reality. They're, that whole eugenics was based in neo-Nazi values. And a lot of them, their beliefs are based in neo-Nazi values. They hate the white man, but they also worship the white man.
Yeah.
It's all about promoting chaos and hating the nuclear family. And really, the nuclear family is about love and acceptance, and it doesn't matter about your, I understand that you want a kid that's, 6 foot plus and all of that, but in reality, none of that stuff really matters. The Arabic communities, they don't worry about that. The Jewish communities, they don't worry about that. The Asian communities, they don't worry about that type of stuff. They're about.
I don't know if eugenics was really concerned about the external either. I think it was more of the mental capacities.
Yeah.
I think it geared more to the ability to perform more so than, because remember, they're trying to, this was done like in the 1833. This was a long time ago.
I'm going to drop you real quick so me and Security Boss can get into a heated argument, because I know this is about to get down a little iffy path here. So HB, thank you so much. Please come back for the panel.
I just want to say salute to you, Chaotic, and it's been a pleasure talking to you too, Security Boss. Thank you.
And HB, if I don't see you, happy White History Month. Go ahead.
Happy White History Month, man. Salute, man.
Salute. Guys, that was HB2N on the ones and twos. HB2N, by the way, is a legendary Lyft. I think it's Uber or Lyft, but he has like 1 million views on some of his videos. They're very funny, a lot of them. I mean, HB Security Boss, you should go to HB's videos. HB, drop your channel in the comment section. But he has like over he has videos, man. They're really funny the way he kicks people out. He's like, yeah, man. He's picking up drunk people at the bars. It's 20 of them. His car could fit 4 people. He's like, yeah, man, you guys can't pile up. He's like, nah, man. They've even offered him hundreds of dollars. He said, nah, man, y'all gonna mess up my car. But salute to you, HB2N. You are an incredible day one and a good friend. Thank you so much.
You got it before I give you smoke.
Yeah.
Wait
a minute. We have Mandrill up here.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to say hello to SB Nation. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here and showing your support. That's all. Okay, go ahead, Chaotic.
Guys, she is doing that from her channel. If you guys are wondering what the hell she's doing, for people who are watching my channel. So that's fine. So guys, please go to Security Boss and please subscribe. Guys, I was a school teacher for many years, security boss, many years. And I can tell you, now you brought up something really important that I didn't bring up at first. Am I superficial? Yeah, but that's the external. See, I'm ugly. See, I had to pursue good-looking women all my life. You know, I had to go for the gusto. You win some, you lose some, and that's why I won with my wife. But also in college, also after college, I've always went for the best-looking chicks. That's the external. But the internal, going back to the school example, I taught in public schools. SB, it was like going to hell every day. And a lot of these kids were cognitively delayed. And what happens is that there are certain breeding practices that are being practiced in certain communities, let's be honest. And IQ is inherited. It is.
Yep.
And that is the example that I believe that fits your internal example that you were saying, correct? So again, if you feel like you are failing in your profession, if you're a teacher, if you're a police officer, and you're just like, why are these people like this? It's because they did not selectively breed. And we, especially Black people, we have to start selectively breeding. It is important. You know, you can't breed with somebody who, I hate to say this, they're stupid, their mom is stupid, their grandmother's stupid. I know, security boss, I know you're like, oh, those words are just so harsh, chaotic, but go ahead, you got the floor. Go ahead.
No, those are your words. I mean, I don't know if I would use the word stupid, but
whatever you want to use.
Non-productive works for me. If they're, you know, but again, I say that we don't see it. They don't see it that way. They're not looking at the reproducing and what am I bringing into the world and the future and how is this child going to be productive? What are they going to do? They don't see any of that. We're just making it through the end of the year. I should probably say making it through the end of the month. We're not in life like that. So listen, if you haven't given someone something to live for, then they don't have anything to live for. So the fact that they're producing, it could be just for selfish reasons. Remember, I told you a lot of times we're very self-seeking. Sometimes the babies are just for us and just for our own gratification. And it has nothing to do with how they're going to show up in this world, whether they're going to be productive. Are they going to be good citizens? Or will they steal the neighbor's car? Will they be whatever? It doesn't equate. They don't think of it totally that way.
Do you believe that Japanese people are intellectually superior to Cambodians? Let's keep it real. No, let's keep it real. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. You already know. We already talked about this. Let's do it. Let's ask the tough questions.
I believe
they're the same ethnic group.
I was getting ready to say, I believe Asian people are very, very intellectual and very.
What makes the Japanese smarter than the Cambodians?
What makes them smarter?
They're clearly smarter. I mean, look at the Japanese society and look at the Cambodian society.
Yeah, in Cambodia.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Cambodia is very, if I can use the word, somewhat poor. Why, I don't know, but why would you say that
they selectively breed?
Okay, but there's a lot of mixing going on as of late.
Mixing or not, the fact of the matter is that we have to ask these hard questions. Why are Nigerians typically smarter than most Africans in the diaspora? We literally have to ask these questions. And if you just look at culture, the Nigerians, they don't play. Nigerians do not play about breeding. You know, and talking about on the continent.
I got you.
They literally, listen, you're going to marry a doctor. You're going to marry a lawyer. You're going to marry, and it's not necessarily just because of the job itself. It's because those jobs require intellectualism and you have to be intelligent. Your brain is an organ. If I'm not, it's an organ, right? So you're just like with an organ. It's not a muscle, it's an organ, right? So guys, if there are any mods in the chat or if there are any doctors, let me know if a brain is an organ. But nevertheless, the fact of the matter is that there are certain neurons that are not connected in certain groups of people. It's just not. I know these things are harsh, but that is the truth. Now, does that mean that certain people shouldn't breed? I'm not saying that. But the fact of the matter is that the eugenics question should definitely be broached and talked about. Go ahead, SB. Let's do it.
I get that it should be, but I get that a lot of people do not consider that. It should be. You're exactly right. It makes a whole lot of sense to do so.
Yeah.
Makes a whole lot of sense to do so. But again, we don't think that way. It would take care of a lot of our problems if we did. But then again, you got what do you do with this whole group? I mean, we're not going to do Margaret Singer. We're not evil people anymore. You know, there's going to be a place for everybody.
Well, I never believed in Planned Parenthood. I don't believe in Planned Parenthood. Remember,
but you're speaking to liberals, right? Or no?
I'm speaking to the fact that liberals will sit there and say that, well, children should be aborted. The fact is that abortion is an evil act, right? And liberals do in fact believe in eugenics, but they pretend like they don't. They do believe in it, because why are you aborting a child? But the fact is that people like myself, I don't believe in abortion, but I do believe in selective breeding.
That's my point, though. Yeah. That's my point, because for me, I would say we need to, and I said this last time I was on your show, we need to go back to education. We need to go back to education. See, like, for instance, what we're talking about right now, most liberals probably have not heard this in detail. Hey, Luke Hazley.
Luke Hazley, thank you so much for that $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. Happy 4th of July, and positivity is definitely coming your way. I'm going to get some water and tea with that $5. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. If we can educate, and I know it went off into schools. I noticed as I left the last time I was here, it went into education far as being in school. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying educating on period. Education period on making babies, reproductive, eugenics, all of this. This could change the whole situation. That's why I said this seems like to me this is the beginning of something instead of the end. That's what I meant by that. Because selective breeding, it would be good. It would be nice, because the first thing, don't no woman want a dumb man, right?
But
and vice versa. Well, listen, I said they don't want one. I said they don't want one. If they thought about it, Mandrill, how are you? Going in, they would not pick a dumb man. This is me talking.
Okay. Now, Mandrill, I don't know if you saw the video of Candice Owens talking about the hypocrisy of liberals. Did you see the video?
No.
Would you like to see it?
Oh yeah, we can run it.
Okay.
Before you do that, the reason why I'm saying that is because we're going back to the nuclear family. Your husband or the man is the head. He's the leader. He cannot be the dumb man. That's all I'm saying. So then go ahead and do the video, and then we can get back to it. But I just don't think these things are not being taught. People just having sex. This is not being taught. These are not factors in who you have sex with, but it needs to be. So anyway, go ahead.
What she said.
Is to defend children, is to raise children, is to love children, to nurture children, to protect them from evil in this world. And when women are out on the front lines demanding a right to end the life of children that they perceive to be inconvenient, we have to accept that we have been brainwashed into a cult. That's it. And it is difficult for me to even speak this now, as I'm due to give birth in 2 weeks, because I think to feel this child kicking inside of me, to feel this little girl kicking inside of me, and then to hear women say
that's
that
not
they
it.
believe that this isn't a life, that should be valued.
That's not it.
Already
Sorry.
know that I know my daughter.
Sorry, that wasn't it. Sorry, that wasn't it.
Okay. But
Hold on.
I'm aware of the hypocrisy of the left now. I mean,
no, give me a second. That wasn't it. Sorry.
Hey guys, if you are.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Please hit that like button, guys, if you have not. I'm so glad that you guys are here on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Let's play the video.
Going to put on your profile, please donate to Planned Parenthood. Because this decision has been overturned, then I expect you as a pro-choicer to recognize the true history of Planned Parenthood, to recognize that it was created by a eugenicist, that the entire concept of abortion was created during the progressive era, largely led by Margaret Sanger at the time that they were also performing appendectomies to Black people to make sure that they couldn't give birth. Who wanted to use abortion as a mechanism to get rid of undesirables. So if they thought that a certain class of people should not procreate, and you can go back and you could read Margaret Sanger's writings, they were considered unfit in society. Black people, they did not want them to procreate and have families, so they encouraged them to get abortions and told them that this was the right decision for them to make. It wasn't just Black people, by the way. During that time, it was largely people that were from Southern Europe. Italians were considered undesirables. If you are going to put on your profile, please donate to Planned Parenthood because this decision has been overturned.
What say you, Mandro?
To what?
The video.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's absolutely right, but she's making light of it. I mean, is the intentions of Margaret Sanger are far more sinister than that. You know what I mean? She actually sterilized Black women, and people talk about it like, countless of them. Countless, you know, and so she's absolutely right when she says that it was founded with the principle of eugenics.
So
I mean,
yeah. So I guess the question would be, what do you say to a liberal who supports Planned Parenthood, knowing this?
I mean, why would you support Planned Parenthood? I mean, if you want to get an abortion, go do it with another organization or doctor. That's horrible.
Yeah,
Planned Parenthood is horrible. Now, my thing on it with abortions, personally. It's not something I would choose for myself. I wouldn't, you know, but in the case of rape by incest or, you know, the mother's life is in danger, you know, during the process of giving birth or someplace during the pregnancy. Okay, you know, one of you, it depends on how far along she is in the pregnancy. Both of them are going to go. You know what I mean? Both parties in this are going to perish. So in that case, I understand where it has its place. But to have it, for the sake of our algorithm, I'll just say termination. Yeah. But to have a termination solely for convenience sake, you should be put in jail.
But I guess, but okay. So you're speaking facts, but the question is what do you have to say about liberals who are anti or against the overturning of Roe v. Wade, but they support Planned Parenthood, knowing that Planned Parenthood was was founded on eugenics, and a lot of liberals will tell you that they're not eugenicists when in fact they really are. That's what. That's
what. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I played the Candice Owens video. Yeah.
Right. What do I say to them? Well, they're hypocrites. We all know it. But I mean, you know, and
would you date a liberal?
Depends on how liberal she is. Yeah. You have to be realistic with it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having liberal values, just like there's nothing wrong with having, because there's some things that we're all liberal about. Every single one of us, there's some issues we're all liberal about. So it depends on how far that goes. If you're a bleeding heart liberal that believes in, well, let's save this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, you do know that you have kids here on the street starving that you can put your money towards and help them out. You know what I'm saying? It depends. So, like I said, it depends on how far you are over there into the spectrum. I mean,
Mandrell, let's cut the BS. You're a eugenicist, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you have sex with would you breed with a 700-pound woman? No. Security boss, you take over from here.
Selective breeding is a thing. Okay, we all do it. Stop. I'm with you, Chaotic. Let's stop the cap. We security are. Boss,
please take. You got the.
I'm with you, security. I'm with you. Because I've been listening for the past 15 minutes or so, and I'm just like, oh, he has a point. I mean, we do select based on looks and other factors. And
why would you not have a nice 700-pound buttercup?
Did you just hear what you said?
What? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I have she's 700 pounds. What can I do with that? That's too much going on there. Her genetics are shot at this point.
So it would be self-seeking. You're saying that because she was a nice round buttercup, you would think, what about the generations to come that you and her would
right, the generations to come. Histories of all manner of health issues, which I nor anyone in my family possess.
Oh,
so why would I take my gene pool like that?
So what you just said, and by the way, Lucchese,
700
thank you so much.
Thank you so
much for the $10 super chat, Lucchese. Lucchese says the sad thing is that many leftists have no idea that there is an evil history behind Planned Deletionhood. I just want to point out that Mandrell literally just admitted to being a staunch eugenicist. Oh, absolutely. He just said nobody in my genetic pool has that. So you're not willing to mix and mingle your genetic pool with undesirable traits, right?
I heard it.
You're a geneticist. I'm exposing everybody tonight. Go ahead. You at the floor.
You've been exposed. We need a red.
Okay, if that's the case, then so be it. I'll be there.
I don't believe that you are a eugenicist in the sense of from a liberal point of view.
Right.
If the doctor comes to you, your wife is 2 weeks pregnant, and the doctor says, your child is going to have a rare disorder. They're going to be 500 pounds by the time they're 30. I say, honey, let's get a deletion. I don't think you're like that type of eugenicist because I'm not like that.
Let's watch his diet and make sure he gets plenty of exercise.
Yeah,
let's try that.
What if the doctor says it's a guarantee he's going to be 500 pounds?
Listen, man. I mean, okay, how long's the kid? If it's going to be 500 pounds, when? At what point in time in life? I have a lot of questions. Like, okay, what kind of life is this child going to live?
Yeah.
If they're going to be 500 pounds by the time they're 5, and then they're 6 years old, they're not going to be here anymore because of the health issues. It's like, wait, what caused this? You know what I mean? Like,
but the fact is that you still wouldn't get a deletion. That's the
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I'd at least try.
But there are liberals who will get a deletion. That's the whole.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. In my opinion, that's wrong. You didn't even try.
Yeah,
you didn't give the child a fair shake.
Yeah.
So
security.
You just don't know.
You want to say something?
No, I'm just listening. I just wanted to kind of add that, because I'm thinking this was like in the 1800s. I'm thinking not only were they putting people together per se, but when we say that they were breeding, was there some artificial insemination going on also? Or was there because I'm feeling almost like some cloning going on that I haven't read about or something, because it has to be more to it than what we're saying, because we're saying selective breeding as just like Mandrell just said. So it has to be something more to this eugenics. And I know it goes further than just humans. I know it was with, animals and, chickens and stuff. And this,
it was done with us. Well, it was done with us during slavery. You take the biggest, strongest slave, with us and pick a woman, and then you make bigger. They did that to make bigger and stronger slaves for the workforce. So,
right.
Yeah, these genetic traits do pass down from generation to generation, but that's why, in my opinion, you have to be very selective and cautious as to who you mate with. And I agree with you, security boss, when you say a lot of people out here just having sex, giving no thought to this. You know what I mean? Security boss, I agree with you a lot, 99% of the time. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? Look at her face, though. It's giving me.
I'm just kidding. You better get it. Because he's always wanting me to bring him some smoke or something. So,
Mandrell, I'm going to probably do a panel later on. Thank you so much. And I do have to point this out that your points of view are insanely accurate. But I could also say what also is more insanely accurate is that beautiful background that you have, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Country, you are a true hero. The men in the armed forces and women, they have the balls to protect this land. And thank you so much, sir. And happy 4th of July to you. Yes, thank you so much. 17-7.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Guys, I might do a panel tonight. Security boss, what say you? Security boss, I think that you are a staunch eugenicist just as much as I am. I don't believe that you would term a child if you knew the child was going to have a debilitating illness upon birth or defect upon birth. I don't think you're like that. I'm not like that either. But certainly liberals tend to be that way. But I do believe that you are an individual. I mean, you've been married for decades, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, I don't mean it like that. I mean,
I don't care. I don't care how you mean it.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
But what I'm saying is that you would not have chosen a mate who was 2'8". Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. A person who's 2'8", you ain't choosing him.
He probably wouldn't have had a chance. No.
Okay, you're a eugenicist. So
3 feet maybe, but 2.8 no.
Now, do you have any daughters?
One.
Okay. If she brought home a man who was 3 feet tall, because there are 3 feet tall people, they're called dwarfs, right?
Little people.
Would you pull her into your you probably have a 3,000 square foot kitchen. Would you pull her in there and say, listen, baby, we ain't trying to have no kids with him. Let's be honest. Would you say that? Or maybe I shouldn't put you on the hot seat. Sorry.
We're gonna be honest. We're gonna be totally honest.
Go ahead.
I would pull her in the kitchen.
I knew it.
I would say, okay, he seems like a nice guy. So what's up? What's the attraction? What's going on? Is he good to you? Is he nice to you? And if she says yes, I would say go for it.
Thank you so much, Kevin C, with the HNL 120. That is not $120, people. That is 120 Honduran dollars. Thank you so much, all the way from Honduras, Kevin. Kevin says, big up to SB. Saw you on the Wives panel live stream, and you ladies were great. Great wisdom in your words. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are incredible. So you said that you would pull her into the back.
Yes.
And you would ask her. Now, if he was 6'4", chiseled jaw, symmetrical face, you wouldn't pull her to the back, right?
Absolutely, I would. I'd probably look at him a little cross-eyed.
Oh, okay. All right. Now,
everybody goes to the back.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had a daughter and she brought home a 3-foot midget or a little person, of course I would not want my daughter to breed with this person. Of course. Let's be honest. Cut the crap. But I would pull her. I would pull her to the side and say, this nigga got to be rich or something. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people.
Now, let me ask you a question. Does money override defects?
No.
Go ahead.
Money comes and goes. You know that. You can't rely on money. Money comes and goes. I have in my life, my decades of being married, I have lost so much money and gained so much money. It's crazy. So I can't.
$50 million.
How many?
If that 3-foot midget was worth $50 million, let's be honest, 50 million, like 50 million, he has it in cash, and he has it in either he has a lot of it in stock, you know, so he can get it, he can sell his positions, and he has some in the bank. So she said, "Mom, he's worth 50 million."
It'd still be up to her, but I still would say if he's good to you, go for it.
Now, if he was,
it's just more to it. We're talking about being married, aren't we? You're talking about being married, breeding, having kids, and living your life with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, if he was a sick person, if someone said he was ill, like chronically ill or something, then I would say love him, but no. But just something that he like that, no, I don't know if I would care too much about that.
I want to point out that TJ said, I'm sorry, would you say security boss?
But being chronically ill would scare me. I wouldn't want to bring a baby, you know.
I want to point out that TJ said Stephen Hawkins had a wife and a mistress. For all of you who don't know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't because you're black. So Stephen Hawking was a renowned and very famous astrophysicist? He was a very famous astrophysicist. He died a few years ago, and he was confined to a wheelchair because he had muscular sclerosis, I believe. If he had a mistress, that means that he had more game than all you able-bodied Negroes. Salute to you guys, and don't get a mistress, guys.
Just more money, not more game, just more money. So, he was a little off too, so who knows?
So the fact of the matter is that in my opinion, so if I had a daughter and she brought home a midget, the only thing I will ask is if he is rich. Other than that, I would tell her you should not involve yourself with this person because of genes. Absolutely.
Well, listen, chaotic. I got a good one. What about the toxic football player? Would that be okay?
The nigga, or you could be a white dude, the white boy, a white boy.
Stop.
That white boy, or nigga, he about to he makes at least $1 million a year. So yeah. So look, I'm a geneticist. I like good genes. First of all, if he's in the NFL, he's insanely strong. He's
That's
insane.
true.
Yeah, I mean, these are some of the strongest human beings on the planet. He has great genetics. Absolutely.
Great. Excellent. You're right.
Yeah. I'm not. I know this sounds superficial, but you've met me at a different point in life. Now, if I was 20 years old when I was a little hippie, little Pan-Africanist, I probably would have said, nah, security, nah. I would want her to get a guy who is into spirituality and that's enough. Get out of here. No. It's about genetics.
That's interesting.
Theoretical physicist. Thank you so much. That's what it was. Not astrophysicist. It's a theoretical physicist. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's interesting because that particular young man that I just mentioned, without mentioning him, his mom is disabled. She has a chronic illness. That's interesting because he is one of the finest. Wow, you're right. His genetics is outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Truck Series, what's going on?
Hey, good evening. How are you?
How are you doing?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just great. How is everybody tonight?
Real good. What say you about the hypocrisy of the liberals supporting Planned Parenthood, even though Planned Parenthood was founded on eugenics, but liberals will claim that they are against eugenics or eugenics? Go ahead.
Okay, well, first things first. As far as eugenics goes,
go ahead, sir.
We've practiced eugenics for a very long time. For example, if we knew that a child was going to be sickly, they would actually terminate the child, such as like the Spartans that you may have heard of. Like the Spartans actually put that into practice, for one. And in many cases, there were a lot of kids that didn't make it specifically because they were born with physical deformities or some type of sickness. So that's number one. Number two, abortion is actually part of selective breeding. And I'll explain how. It's very simple. A woman knows that she can only have a certain number of children at a certain amount of physical stress. Men can have more children with less physical stress. And we know that's true. Men can get multiple women pregnant, but women can only have a certain number of children before they can't have any more. So the issue is abortion being used by these women is being used because they're holding out for a better man. So that comes down to hypergamy, because they know that if they get an abortion, they increase their odds of being able to get the next guy who's not going to want to be with them if they have another man's kid. So abortion in that respect is kind of part of selective breeding. And as far as eugenics, we've always practiced eugenics. And we just didn't want to say it because, it sounds like a bad thing, especially after World War II. So there was a scientist, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Galton. Galton studied behind Charles Darwin. And Charles Darwin came up with the entire idea of obviously survival of the fittest. So some people took it to the next level and they basically said, okay, well, there's something called genetic predeterminism, where our genetics basically decides how good we're going to be. So I would just like to say that it's the poor people who are really having most of the children without having the abortions. The poor people are birthing the majority of the children. If you really think about it, it's the wealthier and the more educated who are having fewer children, because the women who are wasting their time going to school for all these degrees are ending up older and unable to have children by the men who no longer want them, who go after younger women. So in reality, it's actually the poor who are having the majority of the children. If you take a look at any poor country, they have the highest populations. You take a look at China, you take a look at India, you take a look at anywhere in Southeast Asia. Even though the country's economies are doing pretty well, most of the people are poor, and they're having the majority of the children. They're practicing selective breeding. They're practicing abortion. They are actively practicing eugenics, whether they care to admit it or not.
Are you a eugenicist?
Yes.
And what aspect? Are you a eugenicist in the aspect of?
I only choose women based on traits that I want my children to have that I feel are advantageous.
Let me finish the question though, Big Truck. Give me a second.
Go ahead.
Are you a eugenicist in the sense of if the doctor came to you and said, Big Truck, your child is going to be 500 pounds, whether you like it or not, and your wife is 2 weeks pregnant, are you a eugenicist in the sense that you would term, or would you keep it?
I wouldn't. Well, first, I wouldn't terminate. I wouldn't have an abortion unless the child was going to come out with severe deformities, like born with a brain outside its head, born with a heart outside its body, or something. At that point, yeah, I would absolutely reach for the coat hanger.
So you're sort of like a conservative when it comes to eugenics.
I believe, like Bill Clinton said, abortion should be legal, safe, and rare.
Okay, so you believe your aspect of eugenics is sort of like mine. It's like a superficial, external. Go ahead. Like you believe that. Look, I can't breed with this woman. I don't even want to talk to her and give the opportunity to even to have sex and procreate.
I agree. I wouldn't have sex with any female who I thought would be problematic in the future for me. Like if I know she's an absolute drag or she's got high body counts or something, I don't even want to be near her.
What if
I could catch something?
What if she has a history of schizophrenia in her family?
Absolutely not. And and it's funny that you mentioned that because there's a chick, she's been trying to call me and I've been ignoring her calls lately, and she has had schizophrenia and I know she's on medication. I don't give her no play whatsoever because the sad thing is she's just cute enough to put into bed, but I don't want nothing to do with her and I wouldn't let myself go that far.
What if she was 5 foot tall?
5 feet tall is not a problem. I'm 6'6", almost 6'7". So if we have a kid, the kid's going to balance out because both of my parents are like 5'9". So, it's like I'm not worried about a woman being short.
Okay. Security boss, you've been quiet.
She's been very quiet.
No, you were speaking. I was just listening to him and some of the things he outlined about the anencephalins, with the children being born with, the skeleton not complete. A lot of times that's what it definitely is considered a medical procedure. And a lot of times the child has already passed away when that has to be done. And I think that's still in place as far as the Roe versus Wade have been overturned. I think that's still in place because that helps, because that procedure will keep the mother actually safe. I think it's anything that would harm the mother is something that we still are doing. Is that right, Chaotic, or have that been overturned?
No, that's exactly what Big Truck was saying. He was saying that he believes in, for example, the extremities. If a brain is born outside the body, if there's something that will completely debilitate, and please help me out here, Big Truck, that will completely hinder the child from doing basic functions. Even upon birth, then he believes that then the extreme, I don't even believe that Big Truck believes in an extreme, but he believes that that abortion is the proper procedure at that point.
Yeah.
But
let's clarify that. Well, here's the thing. It's ultimately going to be up to the mother.
Yeah.
But again, with Roe versus Wade being put back in the state's hands, some states say 6 weeks, some states say 15 weeks, some states have no limitation. Some states go all the way up to until like the third trimester or whatnot. The point is, if you find out that the fetus is absolutely unhealthy and it absolutely threatens the health of the mother, most states allow abortion in that case. Now, if it comes down to a severely deformed fetus, most states actually do allow abortion in that case. And I wouldn't feel any moral hazard getting one if I knew that the child was going to be severely deformed or something. However, what I also should mention, there's a lot of poorly formed or malformed children who have ended up being, used by Hollywood for whatever reason in order to, be motivational speakers. Like they've got a dude who's got like no arms, no legs, and he's a motivational speaker.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I mean,
I know
right.
exactly who you're talking about.
So yeah, most people would have reached for the coat hanger, but my thing is, abortion, you could be terminating the next Einstein. You could be terminating the next Darwin. But some people are just willing to take that chance and be like, yeah, let's, because the ultimate problem is having children is expensive. Having malformed and deformed children is doubly expensive.
Yeah.
Possibly triply expensive. I'm not going to go bankrupt because of the medical expenses of a malformed child. But I will also say this. There's a lot of kids that get injured and suffer autism from brain injuries, even if they were born healthy. They can get into car accidents and such and such.
That's true.
So you can end up with the same exact problem, whether or not you aborted the child or not.
That is definitely true. And thank you for bringing that up. Big Truck, thank you so much. And for some reason, you've been quite mellow tonight.
I'm on summer vacation and I spend most of it drunk.
Okay, yeah, uncharacteristically mellow for some reason, but thank you so much. Nevertheless, your mic has always been great, and I probably would do a panel tonight. And salute to you, sir. Happy White History Month as well.
White History Month? What are you doing?
Jesse Lee Peterson has designated July as White History Month.
Who's Jesse Lee Peterson?
Jesse Lee Peterson is a conservative content creator. And,
he's a pastor too, isn't he? He's a pastor, right?
Yeah, he's a pastor. To be completely honest with you, I agree with White History Month. White people have created pretty much Western civilization, and I think we have to give them their due.
Why July?
Well, when July, it just feels white. It's beautiful.
It just feels that way.
It's warm. It's absolutely. Yeah. Nevertheless,
I was thinking more like April.
Well, that's your opinion.
More fitting,
Yeah, well, I mean, April. Yeah, I mean, to each his own. But nevertheless, Big Truck, name me I did this last night. Name me an achievement of the white race.
Nuclear weapon.
Ooh, somebody said that last night. Hey, I'm about to put you in the back, Big Truck. Thank you so much for camming up. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, guys, that was a Big Truck series. Normally he's loud, but loud and intelligently loud. Big guy, big personality, and it definitely shows when he is here. Salute to him.
I mean, could you get a little voice out of a man that's almost 6'7"?
I don't know.
Wouldn't we be like, that's a little,
Well, speaking of a man who's 6'7", we're gonna get into the next topic about a man who's 6'7", Brittney Griner.
Stop.
Brittney
didn't just call her a man.
Brittney Griner, 6'10". She is currently being housed in a jail in Russia. She bought in hash, which is very illegal in Russia. She was playing basketball in Russia to subsidize her WNBA salary, which is about $100,000 a year. And currently, there is an ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. And I believe that Brittney Griner is being used as a political pawn. Because truth be told, she's probably done this 1,000 times, but I believe that she's being used as a political pawn. I believe that the United States government, Russia would like to swap a Russian or, a Russian not fugitive, but someone who's in prison in the U.S. would like to swap, but the United States is probably not going to swap any Russian terrorist, I guess, for Brittney Griner, who plays in the WNBA. But nevertheless, in my opinion, you don't want, even though Brittney Griner, in my opinion, she has said some very hateful things about the American government. She said that this country is, I can read it for you if you want me to. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. While I look this up, what do you know of Brittney Griner, SB?
Well, I do know that she plays for the WNBA. I do know that they have been trying to equate her to LeBron James.
Let me get you up out of here, security.
Did you say it?
How dare you say something like that? Even I know it. Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't say it.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't say it, but Yeah,
I'm just
sorry.
telling you what the people. This is the streets that are talking this way.
She sucks. No woman in the WNBA could beat the worst NBA player, even if he had his hands tied behind his back. Now, Brittney Griner made these comments about America. Give me 1 second.
Before you get started on that, but didn't I hear you say, or did I hear this, that she actually lives? Does she live in Russia?
She lived in Russia during her, so she lives there when she plays there. Yeah.
Okay, so she's well aware of the laws that are in Russia. It's not like she's caught off guard or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Brittney Griner at one point exercised her right to stay in the locker room for the national anthem to honor Breonna Taylor and other victims of police brutality. There's one incident of Brittney Griner disrespecting America. Brittney Griner will protest during the national anthem. Brittney, so let me see. Okay. In my opinion, Brittney Griner is not a patriot. She is an individual who benefits off of the United States. She could not have become wealthy or have the same celebrity if she lived in Liberia, if she lived in the Caribbean. And her disrespect of America has made her an unsympathetic individual. Nobody cares. At least I can say conservatives don't, that she is being imprisoned. Now, should she be jailed for 10 years? In my opinion, no. She shouldn't be. Absolutely not. But this is what I'm saying here. You live in a country where you can openly disrespect it, but all of a sudden now, her wife or whatever, her wife and so many people, they are requesting the government to get her out. But why would they want to request the same government that's supposedly racist, systematic oppression, etc.? What say you before I play the video of this man in court?
Well, the point I wanted to make is, how old is Brittney?
28, if I'm not mistaken.
If she's that old, she's quite rebellious. And this all was, in my opinion, a very rebellious act. And she's done some other things too. That was a little bit, even the t-shirt that she wore the day she was arrested. You remember the t-shirt? Yeah. But she does things to get attention. And she's young and she's quite rebellious. I don't think she should do 10 years, but you have to respect where you are. If she's lived there before and I don't even know how you even think you can just bring, guess what? So, they could be talking about caning. So,
No, they're not going to cane her in Russia. She's going to go to a labor camp.
I'm just saying, I know they won't, but I'm just saying it could be. I think that would be worse, but maybe maybe she tough like that. So anyway, it's just rebellion, but hopefully.
Let me see who's in the Chizat. 007 says that's because you are not a real American. Peaceful protest is very patriotic and a cherished American right. I agree with you, 007, but I can also tell you this: if Brittney Griner was more patriotic, I bet you there would be so many advocates, especially conservative advocates, for her release. Let's be completely honest. Let me see who else is in the chat. Kevin, what's up? What do you think about Brittney Griner, sir?
Yeah, hey, hello to everybody in the chat, and big up to the security boss. Hey, again, that panel that you did, outstanding. You guys were fired. She knows what I'm talking about. It was a lady. It was a wise panel, and she was outstanding. She stood out.
Back modern Renaissance man. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then of course, big up to you there, Chaotic. So,
absolutely. What do you think about this dude, Brittney Griner? Go ahead.
Okay, so probably the issue with her, is that it's because of her, controversial, actions that she's done in the past. She doesn't have a whole lot of support. Like people, we don't want her being used as leverage for anything else. They're talking about trying to trade her for some big name killer.
Right. Yeah. They're not going to give up.
That is, that's not even equal. Okay. You know, and that's similar to the and I forget the guy's name who got traded for the Five Guys, and the guy who remember he ran off the base and he was captured. He became a prisoner of war, and he was gone for like 5-6 years, and then President, I think it was under Obama, he got traded, and then but they got like 5 big guys that were released from the Taliban, and now they're out doing Taliban things. Yeah. So these are the things that kind of happen. So they're looking at that as history, like, oh, wait a minute, we don't want to release the butcher or whatever, because like this dude is he's a pretty big fish. That being said, it's because, like I said, she doesn't have a whole lot of support because of all the things that she's done, and then on top of that, I'm trying to understand why the LGBT folks aren't really, in her corner more than what they actually are.
Because you know why, Kevin? There ain't no LGBTQ flags flying over the Kremlin.
Yeah, everything's really, Russia is very serious about the stuff that they do.
They don't have
they're pretty hardcore. It's not like another country where if you do something wrong, you can kind of not talk your way out of it, but there's some diplomatic channels, back channels they could probably work and kind of make things happen. But you got a war going on. You got there's a lot happening over there in that area right now. So I think Americans got to be real smart about where it is they go and what it is they do. And when they see something brewing, you just got to get out quick. Like this is like the big. If you're not paying attention to what's going on in the world, this is like the big life lesson right here.
Yeah.
If for anybody and everybody, wherever you are, if you see something getting ready to pop off, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Kevin, I think Chaotic says she actually lives there though.
But I see where Kevin is coming from, because that was the argument too. People were saying that there were so many warnings.
Oh, I got
that
you.
Russia was going to invade Ukraine.
Because they were literally building up.
Yeah, and people were there were Chinese people that were leaving Ukraine. There were so many people leaving Ukraine, and there were people that were actually even leaving Russia. You get the hell out of Dodge when countries go into war like that. Absolutely. So yeah, she was living there, playing overseas, but she didn't listen.
Yeah, a lot of people made that mistake. Now, to your question that you keep asking everybody about the hypocrisy between the liberals, Planned Parenthood, this, that, and the third.
We're off that topic. We were just going to say on Brittney Griner. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. But I just wanted to say this one thing with them as it relates to that, is that I don't think they see the hypocrisy.
Go ahead.
I see it. I don't think so either.
I don't think they see the hypocrisy. And I'm not even sure they really even know the history. But I just wanted to get that out because that's only because there's so much hypocrisy in other things that they do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, they don't really see it. And a lot of them are paternalistic and everything else. So you know how it is.
You're not on camera, Kevin C, but I would like SB to do me a favor real quick. SB, do you mind closing your eyes real quick?
Yes.
Who won the 2020 WNBA championship?
I have no idea.
How come you don't? You're a woman. How come you don't support the WNBA? That's fascinating.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's funny. I saw it, but I can't remember.
I asked you to close your eyes because I didn't want you to Google it. Or I didn't want Mr. SB to give you a hint. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually saw it, but I can't remember who won it. It's funny because I catch a lot of the tail end of the championship series. Like I didn't even watch the Warriors and the and everybody already forgets who lost, right?
Right.
Yeah, see, hey, you only remember the winners.
You only remember the Warriors, right?
No, Kevin.
Seriously, no. Even with every Super Bowl, with every major championship, you only remember who won.
Now, Kevin, you're a man of a certain age. Would you have ever dated Brittney Griner?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Okay, I thought. Okay, I thought that. Why is that?
Well, first of all, she's tall. So tall people gonna be with tall people. Now, every now and then you get somebody who's like normal height, about 5'8", 6 foot. And there was somebody that's like a foot, maybe taller. That does happen. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And I've seen some odd parents where the men do it and they're with the taller women. But Brittney Griner, she doesn't really come off as somebody that you'd be interested in.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
For most men.
Let me ask you.
She just doesn't really come off that way.
Let me ask you.
But remember, remember, she's married. She does have a wife. So there's somebody for everybody.
Her wife's a 3. Listen, let me ask you this. And by the way, thank you so much for your Honduran super chat. Thank you so much. quick question before you leave. Damn, it slipped my damn mind. SB, do you have any questions for Kevin real quick?
No, I think Kevin's an outstanding guy.
Okay.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Hey, I will say this. You guys mentioned something about people pairing up, right? You guys mentioned something about that. People kind of look at somebody, you kind of look at somebody and go, no, I'm not gonna. When people have like deficiencies or things that are obvious,
yeah,
if you want to call it deficiencies or disabilities, I hate to say it, but you know, they're going to have trouble finding somebody else to pair up with and actually reproduce. So it kind of takes care of itself to some extent.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a bad thing to say, but you know, if you have somebody that has a known disability, people kind of move away from that and they're looking for somebody else that's probably either similar to them or closer to them. Yeah. There's all kinds of genetic markers that people are looking for naturally, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a cognitive disability or physical disability or some kind of genetic thing that you know is an obvious issue, people are going to kind of move away from that. So you almost don't really need all of these programs to try to weed people out and just prevent the so-called undesirables, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So it's very controversial thing to do, but the other part of it too is that a lot of this kind of plays out naturally on its own. It just kind of let things just kind of be. The issue is when people try to force it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Kevin, thank you so much for your insight. I will probably do a panel tonight. Thank you so much. And by the way, happy White History Month to you. Could you name me a white achievement from the white race?
Yeah, you know, well, you mean that's solely limited? Because there's nothing that's been solely limited to them. But I would say, you know, going into space, that's a big one.
That's the one that I said yesterday.
You know, I always think about, you know, when we talk about
SB, are you over there rolling your eyes, SB?
Going into space, but now remember, everybody helped with that. Now, remember, everybody helped with that. Remember the black folks that were working in the background.
Oh, okay.
In order to get all that stuff done.
Okay.
Especially what was that one lady from the Hidden Figures, Catherine? I can't remember her last
name. That's right.
I want to point out that
she put the numbers together, right? She was the one who did the numbers.
She's the one who did
the landing.
The exit, the entry, the re-entry, all of that stuff.
She did.
Kevin,
so that's a major achievement by white folks. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that there's nothing that they've done that not without us. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Kevin, you hear how he's trying to shut you down and get you?
No, I'm not. It's a lot of people in the back.
I'm just saying you can't name anything in the United States or in a lot of places outside of the United States, but definitely in the United States that has not been accomplished by any other race without black people helping.
Absolutely.
We're always there doing something, and either in support or leading the way. That's just how we do business.
Absolutely, Kevin. Thank you so much.
All right, now.
Thank you. Can
you come back for the panel too? That was Kevin on the ones and twos. I want to point out that you don't honestly believe 3 women.
Hey, Yada, can you do me a favor? I'm sorry to interrupt you before you say that. Can you drop the link to that article? My chat is wanting to, take a
which article?
The Brittney Griner.
Give me a second. Can you do me a favor? Can you say something while I'm looking it up real quick?
Can I do what?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, so listen. So chaotic. So with the first day of the trial, they're saying to her, did she plead guilty or did she just say?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, it's just like any trial. I would assume it's just like even like in America, the judge won't even let you plead guilty. They're going to have to go through their legal jurisprudence, and I'm pretty sure they will find her guilty, unfortunately. But I don't think that she should serve 10 years. I think she probably should just do time served, and you can't come back to Russia. That's it. Enough's enough. Go back to your little $50,000 a year NBA salary. I put it in the price.
Wait a minute. I'm not done. You minute ago she was making 100,000. I have no idea. But listen, I have heard there are some tales that she may have been set up. That may not be her actual package that was found in her bag.
We should.
And she was coming through that may not be true. Is that?
I think that.
You don't think that someone could have identified her as being Ms. Griner, seeing that she was a 6'10" woman that looked like she may have played basketball for the WNBA and said, hey, this could be a good one right here. And they may have compromised her. I mean, did they do a test to find these drugs in her system? Has the test been done? Do we know Miss Griner to have a past history of getting high?
We shall know.
In this place for any length of time, she knows she can't just be coming through the airport with the dogs and the guns and all these people with the sniffing going on. Wouldn't she know that this wouldn't be something that she could do? Chaotic.
It's possible.
I just want to
no, it's possible. No, it's
a proper defense. Do I need to go over there? No, I'm not going. But do I need to send my people over? I'm not gonna be the one. Do I need to send my people over there for Miss Griner? Just let me know. I'll check it out. Make sure that everybody asks the proper questions. If not, let her go so she can come on back over here to her wife and be ready for the next season. What will we do if Miss Griner is not here to suit up? When does the season start for them? Tell me. I don't know that.
You're asking me to tell you when the WNBA season starts up. That's like me asking you when the Earth was formed. I have no idea.
I thought you followed. You don't follow?
I have never. I went to one WNBA game when I was 16. A teacher gave us tickets, and me and a couple of buddies of mine, we went to go watch it. It was absolutely terrible. A bunch of 5'10" women doing layups. Wasn't my forte. But
so
I want to get back to
maybe modern Renaissance man. Can you help us with this? Ask him.
Real quick. I want to get back to the whole Hidden Figures thing real quick.
Oh,
now, guys, you don't honestly believe that 3 women calculated the trajectory for entry? No, it probably was a team of 1,000 people or something. I highly doubt it was just 3 women. I believe that there were women involved, but not just 3. And they said, "Oh, okay, we're going to use these 3 women to calculate the trajectory." Just like everybody thinks it was 2 or 3 people who built the nuclear weapon bomb or the atomic bomb. No, it was a team of 1,000 men who built it.
No, actually, on the movie, it was just one woman and about 30 men. One black woman and 30 men, 30 white men, something like that. I'm just telling you what happened on the movie.
I understand. I didn't watch the movie. I didn't watch it though. But salute to you, modern Renaissance man. Positivity to you. We're on the Brittney Griner topic. What do you think should happen to him?
Happened to him, huh? No, honestly, the way I look at it, with Brittney Griner going over there, being in Russia, they get prepped on a lot of things. The only reason why I say that because I was able to do sports professionally as track and field, and when you go to a different country, one thing they do to us when we get over there, they let us know what the customs of that place is. And you're talking about going over there for a week, like let's say when I went to Barcelona, Spain, they gave us a book. And they let us know what the customs of Barcelona, Spain was. They let us know, like, pretty much in Barcelona, Spain, this is how the women are to be towards the men. Even though I might feel it's wrong, if I'm walking down the street, the women will like move out the way or step in the street while I walk past. And I would be like, hey, I'm a gentleman. Hey, y'all stay right. No. So what I'm saying therefore is that you can't take an American freedom-minded attitude into this country and think you're going to go over there and just be able to say, I'm a woman. I can say what I want to. I can do this. I can talk to men how I want to. I got just as much freedom over here as I want to. I can say this because I'm an American. And you think that American going to protect you because they won't. So what I'm saying therefore is that Brittney Griner got over there. She played with them for some time. So she knew the customs. She knew what the laws and everything was. And she still decided to play with that. And now that she got caught and got hit with it, now it's, the country, I'm crying out for America, the country that I said I'm not even gonna come out there during the Star Spangled Banner for the whole season. I don't respect it because there's systemic racism, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna continue to do this the whole time in America. Why is she doing it in America? Because America gives you that freedom to do that. Now you go to Russia and you commit one of these crimes, and now you might want to boo-hoo because Russia's saying that we're gonna look at you, you can be facing 10 years. Should I feel that she should get 10 years? If I knew Russian law and Russian law says this offense can carry up to 10 years, that's the law. Like here, if
so
it tells
you're going from the position of respecting their customs.
I'm respecting their customs in their country, what they have. Over here in America, if you go past a certain amount of, like in Missouri, if you go over 15 miles per hour in Missouri, that's an instant felony. You're not just a ticket, they count that as a felony. But in Illinois, you go 15 miles per hour over the speed limit, they don't look at that as a felony, but Missouri does. So what I'm saying therefore is that while I was living in Missouri, I knew that state law about that 15 miles per hour. Did I ever break it? No. But if I would have broke it and I would have got the felony on my record, I knew that I wasn't supposed to do that. So will she get 10 years? I do not know because I know a lot of political things are going to be in that. Yet at the same time, will they try to trade her for some big wig? Absolutely not. I guarantee they're not going to give that woman, they're not going to give her freedom up to get some type of Russian mob person as a trade. They're not going to do that.
So let me ask you this question. Do you believe that the trial is a real trial or a show trial?
For Russia?
Yeah.
I think it's a real trial because they don't care about how we do things over here.
Okay.
They're like, we're going to do this how we do it here. And even if we do broadcast it, we're not doing this for the publicity of trying to get some type of propaganda or anything like that going. And they might use this as a public display to show you, we don't care where you're from. If you're an American, you think that you got like an American type privilege while you're over here, we still getting ready to hit you with this and show you. And we do not care what Americans have to say.
So Brittney Griner, he is facing 10 years in prison. How many years do you think he would get?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I think that now, like I said, with Russian politics, how they are towards their, like over here, how it's just the truth. If you are a certain stature of celebrity, you might get some type of privilege because of you are a celebrity. Now, she was over there and she was actually doing something really good for that team. I'm sure that it might be someone that's within I don't know what you even call it, the WNBA. It's not the WNBA, but that professional basketball team. I'm pretty sure there may be somebody that knows somebody in those politics to say, hey, give her some slack or whatever like that. But like I said, the way the Russian does law over there is completely different than how we do it here. So will she get the 14 years? I don't know. I can't say.
So we are just going to make her guilty. She's just guilty. Is that what I'm hearing? Is it because she's a 6'10" woman that she's just guilty?
No, I think she's guilty because she was caught with the drugs on her.
So there's no way possible that this could have been a setup.
Not according to those cameras. Have you seen the video footage of it?
Yeah, but so there's no way possible that she could have been, because she lived there. So just like what you said, she knew all the rules and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew what time and the climate we were in and what was going on. Could she be that clueless?
Well, it's not like she's an astrophysicist.
Wait a minute, let me say it differently. She wasn't this from the video that you're talking about. She wasn't hiding it. Am I right? Did it appear to be hidden? No, it was just in her bag. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, and I look at it that way. I see what you're saying. And another way to look at that too is the fact that maybe she just didn't think it was going to happen this time because she's so used to doing it and felt that it was just such a, an open thing. Like I always talk about an environment where people kind of create. I'm so used to doing some particular way. Nobody ever checked my bag on this stuff before, so it must be cool. So I'm so used to it being like that. I didn't think they would actually do this to me.
But I thought it was found by going through the scanner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a normal check, isn't it? Isn't that something everybody will?
Sometimes you got it's Brittney Griner. I love you, big basketball player. Go ahead and go through. She just walk on through, not even putting her bag and stuff up there because they might assume that she would never do something like that. So
let's get real political here, modern Renaissance man. Let's cut the red tape. I heard that saying before. I don't even know what it really means. I just wanted to say it because it sounds cool. By the way, cut the red tape. I don't even know what that means. Security boss, do you know what that means? Security boss, you there? Okay.
No, I was just reading a comment.
Okay.
Let me ask a question before you do that. Don't you still have to put your carry-on bags through the scanner? Don't all bags have to be scanned before you go on a plane now?
Well, like I said, once let's just say whenever we had some of our big track meets, especially in the London area, if they seen us so many times, sometimes they'll just go, Ty Smith, hey, come on, hey, I love you. I hope you do. Sometimes they don't make us put our bag up there. We got the USA patch on, and most time we have like a bag, whatever like that. They figured that if we already made it through the other airports, they just say, hey, go ahead and go on through, and they didn't tell us to put our bags up there or anything.
All right, thank you for that. Now, your question, it was what? Do I know what? Say it again.
Well, I was going to say, modern Renaissance man, do you and obviously security boss, let's be honest here. Let's be real. Do you think that Vladimir Putin, he knows about the Brittney Griner case?
Yeah. I do. I think he does.
You think he does?
Yeah.
Modern Renaissance man, what do you think?
I think he does, and the only way he do know about it is because it became a global thing. But otherwise, I think that if that was to happen to her and it never made it out to the media's attention, I think he would have cared less.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure she's not the only professional athlete over in Russia to commit some sort of crime in trouble right now. Just like right now, I guarantee. I mean, not that I'm not going. Let me not do that. I'm not going to do that. But I like anybody that got arrested and shot and killed somebody in Chicago today. Joe Biden doesn't know, and nor does he care.
Right. Right.
Unless it made the national.
Yeah.
If it made national news, and all of a sudden see these gun laws, but other than that, he don't know who got killed in Chicago tonight. Nor does he care.
Right.
SB, why do you think she was set up? Why do you think that she and SB, I rock with you and thank you for being my co-host for tonight. But why do you give her so much credit as to say that she's didn't commit a crime? She probably was set up. It sounds like, and no disrespect, and I rock with you. It sounds like you have that just in this situation. Pookie was a good boy. He ain't never do nothing. That's what it sounds like to me about the Brittney Griner thing. But no disrespect. Go ahead.
Absolutely not. No, I absolutely think that I saw exactly what you all saw. I actually think she did do it, but I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because it was dumb to do. So I'm just being a little devil's advocate just throwing that extra piece in there before we just make her completely guilty, because guess what? That's what conservatives do sometimes. Everybody, we hear things and they're guilty and we haven't seen or gotten all the facts, but to us, it's already done. So I'm just trying to be a little liberal and just hear it to the end. That's all. I think she did it too. So, hey, I was just,
throwing in a what if though. I
which
I totally get
agree
that.
on everything. We can't all just agree. I mean, we don't know,
Modern Renaissance man, I know you have your platform, and I know you're not chaotic like me, I guess. Is that safe to say?
It depends.
Okay,
you haven't seen.
Let's test the waters here. Guys, I'm not a homophobe. I just want to point that out to everybody in the chat that's listening. But do you think that pride, because she's a part of the pride community, do you think that pride would, like Patrice Cullors and all these pride women, how come they're not getting on planes and going over there protesting in the Kremlin? Let's be honest here. Let's not hold any back.
The minute they land that plane in Russia with any color flags representing the LGBTQY equals MX plus B, they are going to be detained immediately. They do not play that in those countries.
It's called the charge.
They do not play that in those countries.
Yeah.
They do not play that in those countries whatsoever. Not like people think they do. Right now, if LGBTQ is all about their community and all about who's a part of that community, how they're the most hated and most this, and it's all about this, it's all about that, why aren't they out there like raising hell over her being over there right now? Same thing that Al Sharpton and them do. It don't fit the narrative.
And that is so fascinating to me. SB, why do you think? What do you think? Do you think Patrice Cullors and these pride people there go over there? Because they can travel.
No, I don't think that that particular name that you mentioned, she's not looking too good right now anyway. So she wants to kind of fade out of the, the social media. She doesn't want to be in the, the bright light right now. So she's not going to do anything. But there are there's a lot of others that could be supporting, and, maybe we're just not following close enough, but I haven't seen or heard of any support.
What about her wife?
But I've heard the wife.
I don't think her wife would, if my wife, I'm just saying, if my wife is over there right now, every single day, why ain't y'all listening to me? My wife is in Russia right now. What the freaking heck is wrong with y'all? With celebrities, why ain't y'all trying to help? WNBA, where y'all at? Y'all all out there talking about how y'all support this and da-da-da-da. Y'all all about y'all know what the LGBTQ, WNBA, y'all support this. Why aren't y'all supporting my wife? Why aren't y'all doing more?
Now, I know I may get
that one time, though. I think she said it only once, though.
Now I know, and that sounded like a soundboard, Modern Renaissance man. That's pretty good. Now I know I may get my ass kicked eventually by Steven Jackson or one of the many other NBA players or NFL players that I'm talking about. I probably have an ass whooping coming from Colin Kaepernick very soon because I made several videos about him exposing his bullshit. But Steven Jackson, you know who Steven Jackson is, Modern Renaissance man. Yeah. That's funny. He had George Floyd's daughter over his shoulder. He was protesting. How come he's not over in how come these NBA players, including him, LeBron, how come they're not over there? LeBron has so much status. How come he's not going to Russia or to or even to like the border and protesting? It's odd to me. That's really weird.
Virtue signaling is what it's all about. There's nothing more about than to virtue signaling to make it appear as if you really do care, but your actions state otherwise. That's what I say. People that actually are about something don't talk about it. They just go and take care of business. They don't sit there, oh man, what's going on right now is terrible. And you know, no, you guys they're not for real about what they're doing. It's just this whole thing is just propaganda and sensationalism just to get people roused up, because what it does, you can easily control people through fear and through anger. Once you have a lot of fear and anger instilled to somebody, a lot of blood is being drawn from the frontal lobe where you do a lot of your reasoning and thinking at. And when the reasoning and thinking in the logical places that you use your brain for to do those things, fear and anger is easily used to control people in that way. It's all just about getting people just kind of get uprising, try to empathize, but there's no action taken whatsoever. That's why their actions are showing nobody really cares about her being over there.
I want to point out that Cognitive Discussions with a $5 super chat. I'm about to get a whole bunch of gallon waters with that. It said, I got no probably with inflation, it's probably going to be more. I got no problem with abortion, so as long as men have equal rights to opt out of parental financial responsibility before the child is born. Thank you so much. SB.
Yes, sir.
Where is Al Sharpton about Brittney Griner? How come he hasn't said anything? How come he's not challenging Vladimir Putin?
What? I don't know. I don't think. Are you? I don't know.
How come? You know, I find funny. It's almost.
Let me say this. Maybe because Al Sharpton is, maybe he doesn't feel as though that Brittney was racially profiled. You know, he's more of the racially. You know, he's more of the black person's issue. You know, he takes care of that. If Brittney did a wrong thing and knew the laws and took this hash over there, let me ask a question. Y'all don't think there's no hash in Russia?
I'm pretty sure there's all types of.
Oh yeah.
In Russia. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait this one out. Why couldn't she have gotten it on the other side?
I don't know what the particulars of the situation are, but what I do know is that there is an ongoing war, and she was in the country at the start of it.
Going in the country at the start of it.
She was already in Russia at the time, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
Okay, why was she going to the airport then?
I think she was flying from a city to another city in Russia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just find that absolutely fascinating that you don't hear anything from Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. You don't hear anything from these liberal
NAACP, Rainbow Coalition.
You don't see them taking flights. I mean, Black Lives Matter has millions of dollars. Why don't you just go to Russia with all that money and protest the Kremlin? Go outside of the Kremlin and protest. You have
chaotic. Maybe it's time to do that now. The trial just started.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time now. Maybe we'll see an outpouring of supporters, all those people you just mentioned over there now, you know, stating their case, whatever they may have. And then, you know, they'll bring her back home, or they'll make some kind of a bargaining tool for her.
Security boss, I know this is me and your show, but Modern Renaissance Man is I don't know if you are are you familiar with Modern Renaissance Man?
No, I'm not.
By the name. I'm known globally as Ty Smith, the father that destroyed critical race theory at a school board meeting.
Very, very high level content creator. Do you mind if he remains on the panel with us and we bring up a guest? It's me and your show, but do you mind?
Absolutely not. Sure. Okay. I was getting ready to ask him, and I was going to say no offense, but do you rap?
No, not at all.
The way you speak is kind of melodic. Has anybody ever told you that?
Yeah, I think that's part of my Jamaican.
Okay. I didn't want to offend you because I know chaotic think everything's black, but you kind of, I didn't want to make a black joke because it is, you know, I prefer April, but he said this is white people's month. So I didn't want to.
White History Month. I'm going to bring up one person at a time. So the person I bring up, just ask a question or give a concern. I'm going to drop you down. Black Thoughts, thank you so much for the super chats and salute to you, sir. Do you have a question about Brittney Griner? Do you think, what do you think about him? Go ahead.
Well, first off, I'd like to start by saying, how you doing, Chaotic?
I'm awesome, sir.
Security Boss. I've checked
Hello.
out your content. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Modern Renaissance Man. How are you?
Always good.
And I gotta say, I gotta say it, Security Boss, your question to him about does he rap? You're a little racist for that. I just gotta call that out. And
yeah,
go ahead.
Like thoughts. What is your and salute to you, sir, and happy July 4th. What do you think about?
To you as well.
What do you think about Brittney Griner's situation in Russia? What do you think about NBA players, WNBA players, not saying anything about it, not going over there in support of her? Go ahead.
So my question is this. First off, we're talking about a trial. Is Brittney Griner's trial public to? Is it being seen in a public right now?
I have no idea how their jurisprudence works. I don't know how their court proceedings work over there. But they're showing us videos of him being walked around in court.
Okay. So I think this is purely political.
Ooh.
I think that Brittney, first of all, remember, right? Before it all kicked off, Americans were told to get out.
Yeah, they were.
Americans
get out. Yeah.
were told you have to go. Right? That's the first thing. Now, I don't know if Brittney Griner chose to be arrogant and not get out and figured I'm a basketball player. I don't have to worry about it. I don't know if that was her stance, and I do not want to accuse her of anything. I also believe that if she did have marijuana, allegedly, they knew before they detained her because she has been playing for them for several years.
Yeah, she had been. Yeah.
So this is nothing new. What you have to understand is she's a WNBA star. Okay. Apparently,
the equivalent of being a substitute teacher. But go ahead.
Okay, they have apparently they have a women's basketball league in Russia, which I didn't know, but apparently they have it. And when you're an American or a star from another place, she's not flying coach. So I doubt she's flying coach. I'm sure they're paying for her to come in and out.
Black Thoughts. We got other people in the back, respectfully, but I might do a big panel. But what I want to ask you is this, sir. Do you believe that she deserves 10 years in prison? Yes or no?
I can't make that assessment because we haven't heard enough to say he deserves this and deserves that. We haven't heard enough. We don't know Russia's laws. We don't know the full story to just go on and make assessments.
Okay, how about this? Black Thoughts. We have a lot of people in the back. Thank you so much for constantly coming or for always being here. I have one more question for you about Brittney Griner. She's 6'10", sir. How tall are you, by the way?
I'm 5'11".
Do you think you could beat her up in a fist fight?
Oh my God!
Let's keep it real. Just keep it real. She might knock you out. I know she'd knock me out.
She said she might knock you out.
I know she's knocking me out. That big dude, yeah, she knocking me out clear as day. But salute to you, Black Thoughts. Let me ask
a question.
Oh,
I want to ask Black Thoughts.
Go ahead.
Black Thoughts. You and I we cannot be friends. Because you have started trouble with this comment section. So I am no longer going to be able.
I like you, security boss. Don't do that to me. We cool.
No, I'm just kidding. Bye. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Take it easy, Black Thoughts.
Guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of people in the back that want to get in. Salute to you all. I love you guys. I appreciate the cash apps, the super chats. If you have not, please go over to Security Boss, Unsolicited Security Boss, to subscribe. And please, if you have not, subscribe to Modern Renaissance Man. Guys, if you would like to join the Chaotic Truth, please hit the join button and become a member. I will be doing cocktails with Chaotic every Friday. I will be drinking I will be drinking cocktails, and you can ask me any question you want. I don't know why I just lost my train of thought. I was looking at 10 things at once. I normally drink Cosmopolitans. I know it's a girly drink that people say, but forget you. Guys, hit the StreamYard link I'm about to put the StreamYard link in if you want to join the chat. Let me see who else is in the back. Gray Pill, let me ask you a question, sir. What do you think about Brittney Griner's situation in Russia? Go ahead.
Gray Pill.
Hey, lady. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Modern Renaissance Man?
Good.
Seen you a few times, brother. You're a good dude. Good dude.
Appreciate it.
It's unfortunate that we have to hear something like this, especially mostly from our people, because normally the other side usually do crazy stuff like that when we hear about it. I mean, look at the movies. She, from the stuff that I've seen and a little bit of the videos, you just have to play by other people's rules in their house. That's just how it is. Whether you go, Renaissance Man said it best, but that's for every country. The Philippines, for example, they pretty much have like zero tolerance for drugs and violence. Zero tolerance. When you go to Japan, we have a brother over there from a panel that we seen. Shout out to Black Man Filter that comes on the panel only because he needs to get that de-stress because he's following the rules, very strict rules in Japan. Okay, so I think that's what a problem. Doesn't matter if you are a celebrity or not. Celebrities know better when they go over there too.
SB, you have any questions for Gray Pill?
No, I agree with them. I agree. I can't wait to see what actually happens.
Same here.
Yeah.
Gray Pill, have you ever watched the WNBA game?
Yes, I have. We actually pretty much, I'm not behind your screen, can't say you watched it or seen it, but I'm pretty sure we actually follow the same content creator that's actually a basketball fan. That's Pearly Things. So she's a woman basketball player. She's in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, salute to you, Gray Pill. We have it's a lot of people in the back. Thank you for camming up. I probably will do a panel, so you're free to come back when I drop the link. Thank you so much.
I would like to say one thing though. It was something you mentioned earlier. You said a statement that she made. The article I looked at, she didn't make any statements on or comments on stuff she said. So I'm looking for that. So if you don't mind showing that for the chat, because the chat's been asking.
Statements on what, sir?
You have to go back and replay. You had mentioned it earlier about statements she said.
Sir, she literally refused to do the national anthem in protest of Breonna Taylor. She literally did.
So that was the reason why she got arrested. It was just to drugs.
Oh, he's talking about two different things.
Okay, What are we talking about? Statement on. Okay, what are we talking about?
So that's what you just mentioned. Just a statement that she's made about just the national anthem and the flag. That's the statement.
Sir, she openly disrespected America, sir. Openly. She openly disrespected America. And whether I'm paraphrasing it or not, but she literally didn't. She refused to do the national anthem.
Yeah, she said that she will not. During the WNBA games, she said she will not come out at all during the Star Spangled Banner for her remaining time being there in protest. She said she'll come out there after the Star Spangled Banner ends, and then she'll come out and play the game while she was in America. Now that's not what she's in trouble for, though. She's in trouble for drugs in Russia.
Correct.
So yeah.
How long has she been residing in Russia?
Ooh,
a couple of years now.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's nothing. That's like you're visiting.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for your time.
Yep. We got Logic on the panel. Logic, what's going on, man?
Man, what's good, man? This is so good to see you, a security boss, up here talking about stuff that matters.
Absolutely.
Hey.
So we were on the conversation about Candice Owens and what she was saying about pointing out the hypocrisy of Roe v. Wade being overturned and how liberals were against the overturning, but their support Planned Parenthood, which was founded on eugenics. But we're on Brittney Griner right now. Are you familiar with Brittney Griner?
Yeah, the bisexual basketball player that have no pride for our country.
Exactly. So what do you think should be done with him over in Russia?
Him or her?
You know what he's doing.
Brittney Griner.
You know what? I said the same thing when you declare yourself not American.
Yeah.
And you constantly do it.
Yeah.
And then you lobby for black stupidity, like Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
And like I tell all these people, if you don't think Breonna Taylor was a criminal, go to the Louisville police website, and listen to all the phone calls that when Kenneth Walker was in jail, Kenneth Walker and the other little drug dealer boyfriend, she was the finance, she was the money behind that. So I'm like this. I don't have no pity for him. Because if you have pity for him, how really you want me to be chaotic?
Sir, this is the chaotic truth, sir. You can do
right.
whatever, do what you
So
want.
look, I just left a cookout.
Yeah. Black cookout.
It was a cool cookout,
Okay.
but it was black people there.
Yeah.
And it was a terrorist there. So let me give you the brief description of what happened.
But wait a minute. Chaotic, do you know what a terrorist is?
I'm assuming that's is that down south slang for something?
No, it ain't no down south slang. What is the definition of terrorist? And then if you take the state definition of terrorist and you relate it to community, and then you will see black women are terrorists.
He's saying a black woman.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that terminology for black.
See, I knew he wouldn't know what you.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, just look at the definition of terrorist. That people that use violence, intimidation. You know what I'm saying, to black children and black men.
Okay.
For political aims or personal gains.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the definition of terrorists and from the state perspective, and I put it to a community perspective.
Yeah.
And then just to highlight that our black women is terrorists. They terrorize our community. And to my statement I was making is like, the lady saw one of my videos, right? Yeah. Saw my point of view. Already told me when she first saw me, she got smoke for me.
Yeah.
I said, shit. And then now you mix alcohol with black women terrorist type of energy. She just wouldn't let it go. So I was like, look, shit, you know what, dude? Let's push over the edge. Let me play my terrorist songs. It's coming out on the Peep Records. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole terrorist song that's coming out. She didn't like it.
Yeah.
I said, cool. We playing cards and shit, drinking and chilling. And then she told the other chick, she said, I'm finna stir him up. I said, look at this terrorist. So I ain't gonna play in a game. So like, I'm 6'1". This female is probably around by 5'9", maybe. I got 22 years trained to kill.
Yeah. She
got 22 years of sucking dick.
Oh, go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead.
So she stood up and she put her finger in my face.
Oh no.
I said, lady, relax. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what Miss Logic gonna do. I'm gonna remove myself. So I went in my folks' house. I went to the basement, right? I'm hearing this terrorist say that she gonna come down there and whoop my ass. So I said, you know what? Let me do the Miss Logic thing and I remove myself.
Completely, yeah.
But the thing is that I say the same thing. Why do black men have to protect themselves against black women? And it goes back into that. You can't tell them they wrong. They will continue to do wrong. And then this is the real part about what make them terrorists. Even after they identify they're wrong, you know what they still do?
What's that?
They have no accountability after that. That would make them terrorists. See, a normal person like me and you can debate right now.
Absolutely.
you'll go back and you say, oh shit, chaotic was right. Hey, chaotic, hey, you right, bro. See, a terrorist would not admit or take no accountability for the things they do say. That what makes them terrorists. They intimidate our culture, and until we stand up, you know what I'm saying? We sheep ready to be picked off, and then now I'm a 6'1" man with that I've been trained as a killer, but I'm running from a black woman. Hey, keep it funky.
And you're applying this also to the situation with Brittney Griner in the sense of you can't tell her nothing. That's
Can't tell her shit.
Yeah.
Like, what can you tell her?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just saying, she should stay locked up in Russia.
10 years?
Hey, I think they should give her 20.
Wow.
He put up there with Ghislaine Maxwell. You know what I mean?
I think they should give her 20 because the thing is as far as accountability, it's no accountability that goes into these women. So if we as black men continue to lobby and save them and other black women save them, then what accountability do we have for bad behavior?
Let me ask you this question, Logic. How come Patrice Cullors, the rest of Black Lives Matter, the NAACP, how come they're not flying over to Russia with all the money that they have, Al Sharpton, white liberals? How come they're not flying over there to the Kremlin and protesting, going to the doors of Putin and saying, you're going to release our American brethren or sister, whatever you want to call it?
Because the Russian government is not soft like American government.
Ooh.
So American government tolerate a lot of shit. You go in the Russian government and you do that kind of stuff like that, all them individuals be in jail right next door to her.
Yep.
That's true.
Because they don't tolerate it. Like I said, I can sit here and I can say it's good things about America. And you'll hear me say that America is a double-edged sword, where our freedoms can play for us and it can play against us. And I think that would make us good. But see, these individuals, they don't understand the umbrella of freedom they live under. They don't understand the umbrella of safety they live under. They don't understand that, you know what? You live in a police state that you don't need, man. You don't need a lot of stuff. You don't need to farm. You don't need to be hunter-gatherers. You don't need to do a lot of stuff that other people do. In America, you can be an individual and then you can have all the benefits and gains as if you was a married individual. They know if you right now, all of them can call the police right now, and then the police can come and protect them. But they don't understand in other countries, you don't have them same freedoms. You can't call the police and they come in Russia, China, South Korea. You know what I'm saying? Everything out of the Western civilization, they don't have a police state. So this police state is turned women to where they think they can be more than they are. And now Brittney Griner is in jail, and she got a reality check. And I hope some more WNBA stars go over there and they get locked up too.
Now, why is that? Why do you wish other WNBA stars go over there?
Because I think we need the scarlet letters. We need examples. Because right now we don't have examples. Like, what examples do you see? Like, I was saying this on She Critique the other night, and the ladies, it kind of went over their head. And I was saying, when you're dealing in relationships, and I'm just using it as a scenario, I said is if a man don't do his duty to his child, it's repercussions. He can lose his driver license, he can lose his passport, he can go to jail, he can do all that kind of stuff like that. What is the repercussion for a woman who's a deadbeat mom? So now our women run around here scot-free, and they have no accountability because there's no repercussions for their actions. So now until we start seeing repercussions for actions, then people will actually fear doing things that they actually know that's morally wrong. Men is repercussions for us. If we choose not to work, guess what we're going to be at? We're going to be on the side of the road, on Skid Row. If a woman chooses not to work, guess what they got? They got safety nets for her. If a woman chooses to be a deadbeat parent, guess what? The system will support them. If a man chooses to be a deadbeat parent, he's going to jail. Our system ain't balanced. And I'm not saying equality balance. Our system is not balanced with, it's just not fair. And until we start saying stuff like that, then women will start understanding that, you know what, play the role of a woman, listen to security boss. I told security boss the other day, I gave up.
Yeah.
Ain't no hope for these women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of digging through the trash to find them.
Yeah.
So can I ask Logic the question about the eugenics? I mean, I know we're not talking about
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Logic, do you participate in eugenics?
What is eugenics? See, you got to bring me up to speed.
I'm gonna let Chaotic explain it.
Okay, so Logic, eugenics is this in a nutshell. Would you mate with a woman who's 3'5" and produce a child purposely?
3'5"?
3'5".
No, if I can dodge it, I dodge it.
Okay, now that is practicing eugenics, because you're not, first of all, you're not really attracted to her, but secondly, you know that you don't want offspring who would be short, because you know that shortness has a certain deficiency. So that's in a nutshell, that's eugenics. Security?
No, he said no. So he answered it. So he does participate in eugenics.
But I will tell you this. Based on the pickings that we have today, I would date a woman that's, I ain't gonna say 3 foot, but just say 5 foot tall.
Okay.
Compared to having a woman that's 5'8".
Yeah.
And that's a terrorist. So I would forego my ideal woman for the real ideal woman. And it's just me. Like, hey, she can have 4 fingers. And then you know what? Guess what? But she got 4 fingers, but she got the mentality that well, you know my whole thing, Miss Security Boss.
Yeah, I do.
I'm based on plans and legacies. And none of these women is based on plans and legacies. They based on themselves, the individuals, and that's why we see our community, you know, people laughing at us. I mean, yeah, I don't think y'all it sink in. Other cultures is laughing at black men and black women because let's keep it funky. Who the only race that's feuded on the internet like this?
I don't know, man. I've been to some hillbilly panels, man. They beef with each other too. So I you know, now I don't see middle class whites beefing with each other, but I for damn sure see poor whites.
See, Mr. Logic, I have the answer for that, and I've already told you what the answer is. How do we get everyone there, or how do we get the ones that need to be there? It's different, and we're working on that. But marriage is the answer. The nuclear family is the answer. Marriage is a covering, it's a protection. And this Chaotic is married, and I'm almost sure that Modern Renaissance is married also.
21 years.
Logic.
This is the covering. This is where you want to be. How to get you over here? We got to work on it, or we have to talk about it, or I'm just gonna say I don't know. But the in between, what you're talking about, is definitely embarrassing because we don't even know what we're really arguing about. I mean, you can't change people. I mean, I wish you could see that the people you're speaking of are not the ones that you should be even talking to, and you can't change them. They're actually giving you exactly what you need. They're putting a big sign out there saying, it's not me. I'm not the one. And I wish you could see it for that and just keep moving, but I understand.
Logic, thank you so much, SB. Logic, Bob says, Logic, I know you love the sisters. Salute to you, Bob, for the $5 super chat, by the way. But why not date white women? The sisters are too far gone.
Stupid. I should have did like every last one of my homeboys. that's 3 are married to Germans, 1 married to a Korean, and 1 married to a Filipino.
Yeah.
So, but it is sad that it gotta be that way. And you know what's so crazy is I can bust them down all day. You can bust them down all day, and they are perfectly fine with getting bust down, getting skeeted on. I'm sorry, security boss, close your ears.
Who? Wait,
But, yeah,
wait.
get
Who?
bust down, get skeeted on.
Are you talking about
penetrated.
the? Are you talking about the sisters?
Yeah, the
He's
sisters.
talking about
Okay,
the
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They really, like I said, is and I don't know, I kind of feel sorry for them now, because it's like, is that all they think they good for?
That's all they being portrayed in society as being good for.
And you can tell when you look at their IG page, because every time you look at their Instagram page, their social media, that's what they highlight.
I mean, when I think about what you just got done saying, I mean, it's quite, it's sad, but when it all comes to it, the final answer is going to be is having a real father in the home. I'm not having a real legit father in the home, not a father that's just there, but ain't involved in a child's life, but having a real father there. So what I always tell these girls, I'm a huge mentoree, got a ton of mentorees that I have, and a lot of them are females. And I tell them this, I say, do you find it interesting that they'll play a commercial showing like food? Like, I don't care, whatever your favorite restaurant you can think of, Burger King, McDonald's, whatever it may be that you really like. They show the burger looking all real good, and they show a juice, they make the sizzling sound, and they might show somebody biting, and you'll look at that and you'll say, man, that burger look good. And it makes you want to eat. So I tell these girls, what do you think when you advertising on there? When you sitting there showing all this and you showing all that, you think a brother gonna really look at that and go, I want to get to know this girl to see how smart she is? No, I want to smash. That's it. And that's all you're going to be good for. And then it didn't help that our culture glorifies girls actually being like that, especially when the Snoop Dogg them era came along. I mean, Snoop then was just flat out telling them what you are. You a bee, you a hoe, you a trick. Bees ain't but hoes and tricks. I mean, they would flat out do it. And so what ended up happening, I just noticed when I was growing up in the projects in the hood, is that I noticed that dudes actually started dressing like Snoop did, started dressing like Bone Thugs and Harmony, had the braids and all this, and had they were button up flannels and all that with the dicky pants. And then next thing you know, the girls actually start portraying the type of women that Snoop then was going after in these videos. And it just became a thing. And then, dude, it was like, we talked about this last night. It was prided in the hood. Like it was prided in the hood for hey, you see old boy right there, T-Mac? And he got all kind of hoes, man. So if you young and you hearing people talking about T-Mac having all these hoes, all of a sudden you young, you might, man, I want to aspire to be like T-Mac. I want to be known as having a whole bunch of hoes too. It never was told, hey, dude, that's actually not what you want to be. That's not what you know. That's not what you want to do. That's actually kind of jacked up that you want to just go out there having all these women having babies by them. But at the same time, you talk about that to them right now, it's you some uppity dude. I bet you probably grew up with a bunch of white people. It's like, how did that all of a sudden get turned to I grew up with a bunch of white people because I'm
can I address something you said though?
Mm-hmm.
Is you brought up a point about maybe the fix is fathers in the homes. I think we passed that. I think even if you get a father in a home at this stage that we are, it's not going to matter.
Wait, to who?
Because the culture is too dominant.
Wait.
I'm telling you.
Wait, now I get what you're saying, but here I am. I'm a black father. I came from a single parent home with my mom up to a certain extent. When we hit around 12, 13 years old, she pretty much she couldn't do it no more. So it was either us to go to school or not. And long story short, here I am. I'm married 21 years. I got 2 sons. They're 20 years old and 18 years old. Never once have they ever gotten involved in anything like that whatsoever. Because as a father, I'm one of those fathers. I do not mess around. I'm a parent. I'm not my son's friends, nor am I trying to be. They in my kingdom, they in my domain. You're going to abide by the kingdom and the domain. I don't care until if they're in their 30s and still live in my house. You're still going to abide by
how
my
long,
kingdom.
But this is the key. How long you been married?
21 years.
21 years.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm not talking about our age. This generation is done.
Okay, so are you talking like right now, this generation 18 and under, or like give me an age range you might be thinking
like the new fathers. It's done. See, because the thing is our generation, it was still based on type of principles. Like it was still hope out there. What you're saying now is that you can have a father in a home, but most of the father rights will be taken away by the law, by peer pressure, by the government. I mean, it's so many things that like the fathers is so last, and it's a trend now.
See, and I get it, and that's why I think right now, like I'm not trying to, I'm a minister too, but I'm not throwing this in there as trying to like talk about Bible stuff like that. But I think that is a really good reason why it's such a stress to have people be married. It's amazing that the lullaby, it said first come love, then came marriage, and then came you with the baby carriage. I mean, it might sound real mediocre, but if they did it that way right there, that problem can be easily solved. Love came, then the marriage came. And I think that's super important right there because, like what you said, men have no rights. Get married, though, the ball game changes.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you this. Read this book. And I said this on our political show that me and Chaotic do on the Peep Network. Read the book Meditations. I read the book 4 months ago, and I was looking at another podcast, and then I saw so much stuff I missed. Then I started going back and doing research. And then in the podcast, they was comparing the U.S. today to the fall of the Roman Empire. And then when you see these similarities, brother, you be like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
And then if you look at Marcus Aurelius' meditation books and you start seeing, because that was his journal, and you start seeing some of the stuff he was saying, it's like he's in today's society.
Yep.
It's actually insane. So like I said, that's how you know. And then that's how, I mean, I was thinking about it. It's like, that's why you have these people that want to delete history.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they delete history now, then nobody actually have these markers they can say, oh, well, we've seen that before. If you delete it all, then now you're going to keep repeating the same stupid things.
Exactly.
And then now they didn't tear everything down, and then you look at it. And I can go deep with that. I don't feel like going deep with it tonight, though. But like I say, it's deeper than what we think it is. And probably in the next 5 years, we're gonna wish we had this time to actually speak up.
Logic, let me and thank you so much, Logic. I got a panel full of people that want to get up, but I might do a panel later on. But thanks, Logic.
All right, hey, shoot me the link if you do a panel later on. I ain't doing shit but chilling in the career.
Absolutely, thank you guys.
All right.
Guys.
All right, Logic. I'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, Logic.
Guys, that was Logic over at the Lapeef Network, the greatest #1 numero uno network on YouTube, the Lapeef Network. If you have not subscribed, please go over there and subscribe and also join and become a member. Little Light with the $10 super chat says, most American women are whores. I'm getting my passport soon. I'm sick of it. I want a family, not a broken home. I know what that feels like. I'm not repeating history like a degenerate. Patriarchy speaks. You've been waiting patiently. I see you in the back, Prime. You're up next. Patriarchy, we're on the topic of Brittney Griner. What do you have to say about him and Russia? Go ahead.
Well, number one, I like your very, very mediocre, moderate talking points that you have, right? Like the mediocre. Let
me get you the fuck out of here. Don't come in here disrespecting me. Let me get you up out of here.
Well.
No, I mean,
I knew that's what he was going to do.
You can come back.
I knew that's what he was going to do, but why haven't the Democrats done anything? Listen, I agree everything Logic says. She needs to go to jail for 20 years.
Wow. She's an American, sir. Do you want to see a fellow American in the gulag?
Yes.
Wow. Go ahead.
Are anti-American lesbians, is that what America is to you?
She has a right to be lesbian, sir. She has a right to protest.
America was not built on lesbianism, bro.
No,
it was not. I agree with you.
And it wasn't. And so first off, the WNBA is lesbian propaganda. Okay, the WNBA is broke. The NBA subsidizes the WNBA.
Mm-hmm. They lose $10 million every year doing it.
Yeah, and then all these corporations subsidize them. So let's start off with this. It's lesbian propaganda, right? Then that whole group, we don't need Brittney Griners walking the streets out here beating women. Do you know who makes up majority of the domestic violence cases in America?
Lesbian women, yes.
Okay, so then we couldn't even prosecute her. So what I find to be interesting, we literally have guys like Ray Rice who can never play in the NFL again. right? We got all these Greg Hardy.
Ragdoll his significant other.
And what did Brittney Griner do?
Well, she's still a. I mean,
you see that? You see? He's not a conservative. You are not a conservative, bro.
Go ahead. Tell me why.
She's a woman. She's a woman.
No,
so
I didn't say, sir.
That's what you were about to say,
sir. I did not say that. I said that she did not ragdoll her significant other.
What? She's 7 feet tall.
Okay, well,
bro, this is what I'm talking about, bro. You are trying. Let me tell you what you're trying to do. But the only way you're fixing this is extremism. You are not going to cure cancer with cough syrup right now. So she needs to go to jail. Maybe you know what my hope is? Maybe she'll be scared straight.
Wow.
Maybe when she comes out of jail, you know how like the men go to jail and they come out as women? Maybe she'll go and she'll come out straight. That's orange is the new black for her.
Let me ask you a question, Patriarch. You came in like an atomic bomb, and I love it. I really want to get you out of here, but you are an incredible panelist, legendary by now. But why hasn't Black Lives Matter, the NAACP, white liberals, how come they haven't flown over to Russia and went to the Kremlin? Go ahead, sir.
Same thing what Logic said. I even gave you a link, and you should pull it up.
Yeah.
I gave you that YouTube link. Go look up when a bunch of feminists went to Russia to try to protest. They beat their ass. The police, the male police, physically put hands on them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same reason. It's the same reason why Russia doesn't have a massive immigration problem.
No,
because you won't go in there with that type of stuff. We allow this type of stuff. We allow this type of degeneracy. Honestly, bro, I think that we should give up Ukraine if they keep Brittney Griner.
Wow.
We should make that trade. We'll give them Ukraine. You can keep Ukraine, but you got to take Brittney Griner. I'm telling you, bro, like Russia, the reason why Russia and China don't have these problems, you know why? And I hate to say this.
Why is that?
Because they put their people first.
Ba-bam.
They care about Russia cares about the Russian government cares about Russians. The Chinese government care about the Chinese people and families. America's government cares about lesbians, illegal immigrants, and in other countries. We're the only ones we put other people over ourselves. All of these countries, they care about their men and their families more than we do over here.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm not a big fan of China.
Sorry.
I'm not a fan of China. I'm not a fan of Russia's decent. I kind of like Putin a little bit. I kind of like Putin a little bit.
I like
so like they put their people first. We don't put our people first. We care about the 21 people who died in the tractor trailer on the way from Mexico. Oh, look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this strong. I thought she was a strong woman. Where your strength at?
Why is she crying out and yelling? I'm an American.
Looking like a lesbian Harry Potter.
Now, one thing I have to say is this. That woman that is leading her, that woman has to be a boss bitch because Brittney Griner is probably 50 times stronger than her. But that Russian woman said, oh, no, you got to walk with me.
No, it's the men.
Yeah.
It's the men. It don't matter, bro. A mediocre man will destroy you.
I'm gonna add something to what my guy just said right here too, and it's something that I said. I know I got in trouble when I go and I speak openly because women instantly get offended when I say this. I mean, I can just feel it coming off of them. What he said that stood out. He said Russian and those different countries say they care about their men and family, and we'll always do. I said, now I always tell people this. It's a great book called the Bible, and I think it's a reason why. And it's like from a spiritual standpoint, it talks about how if a spirit ends up leaving a house, it goes to and fro looking for somewhere where it can go back. It's if that spirit was to try to return, it's if it was to return, it has to first overtake the strong
bind the strong man. Yeah,
strong man. It don't say the strong woman or the strong family. It has to bind the strong man. And I'm telling you right now, especially amongst Black culture, I cannot. It just blows my mind how I'm like, I don't see no uplifting of trying to encourage Black men, to push Black men to do things, to push Black men to do great things. But there definitely is all kind of incentives and all kind of things for Black women. I mean, they pushed them to go to school. They pushed them to not even need a Black man. They pushed them to not even desire a man. They pushed them to go and just get into the job workforce. You don't need no man. Your Ivy League education. You can do this all by yourself. You don't need this. You don't need that. and they go out and do that and find themselves being lonely and trying to figure out why they are still depressed or they still having these big time struggles because they don't push them to actually be a part of a family, which is the first institution that God put together. They put together the marriage first, then the family came. And so that's what I'm saying. That was I like that he said that right there, because that is flat out true. China will not even show you no videos. You can't even and look, I know I'm not trying to throw nothing out there, but I speak 5 different languages. So and Russia is one of them. That's the reason why. This backstory. We can get to that later some other time. Yep, he got you. And what it is that she what those countries do, they will not let any feminists whatsoever in a man even be. You better not even show that you feminine in those countries. Dude, even like Jamaica, you better not even show that you a bati boy, is what we call it. You cannot do any of that because it's a sign of weakness, and they know this. And that's why right now, who do you see being pushed to be like? I mean, I know we got women that's being lesbian, things like that, but who do you see being pushed to be the opposite? You see men, it's a great push for men. They got more movies out. Name one movie that a woman is the lead role in the movie where she's actually acting like a man. But if I say, tell me a movie where you got men dressed up like women, lead role, you can throw out there Big Mama's House, you throw out Tyler Perry, you throw out Mrs. Doubtfire. Why? Because if men can become weak, we can easily be defeated. You can't name no societies right now where wars are won with women.
Yeah. There's no such thing as strong women. There's only weak men.
Patriarchy. We have a lot of people in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna
go. Here's the thing. No, you ain't got to go yet. But obviously, you can come back for the panel. What say you about the whole eugenics argument in terms of with Candice Owens?
Oh yeah, it's one. So first, eugenics is necessary at times. I don't know if it's necessary in terms of planet, but we're doing eugenics in a lot of different ways. The fact that we're empowering women, you're creating eugenics, right? Like you're creating women. Most of the women that are not reproducing are like smart women. Right? Like it's like the movie Idiocracy. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Idiocracy.
That's a good one.
We're creating eugenics right now by having all the smarter people not reproduce, by outpricing them on the market and feeding feminism and stuff to things like that. But I'm going to be honest with you. Slavery was the biggest eugenics project out there. Like slavery bred a very strong group of people because not everybody made it through the Middle Passage and things like that. Right? Like weaker people died off. And now I think what is happening is through things like rap music and the NBA and stuff like that, they're trying to reverse engineer that. So now we want the stupidest people to be at the top, like rappers and ball players and stuff like that. But those people wouldn't have survived, like those genes wouldn't have survived like the Middle Passage and stuff like that. So like, I mean, I know that they're here now, but like, I think that everything is going to like reverse eugenics. And I think that the reason the way that you kill off a society is equality. You tell everybody that everybody's the same.
Yeah.
And eugenics doesn't thrive on everybody's the same, right? Like it thrives on like people are different. Differences exist. Nature is like this. So we're already committing eugenics. We're committing feminism. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can get rid of abortion all you want. Abortion is terrible, but bro, if you don't get rid of feminism, this is nothing. You still have women that want to be bosses and lawyers and don't want to reproduce with men who are like women with very high IQs. So it's like, yeah, abortion's gone. Okay, that's good. But you still got to get these women. Okay. So we stop the women from killing the babies, but we still need to get women to want to have babies now. Like this ain't enough. We got to do a lot more than this. This is only the beginning part.
Okay. Well, Patriarchy, thank you so much. SB, did you want to ask Patriarchy anything, or did you want to say anything to him?
No, not tonight. But only thing, hello. I didn't get to say hello. He came in.
What's going on? How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good show yesterday.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, a good show. So all right, I'll go to the back and I'll talk to y'all later.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, man. I wanted to add a little bit to that right there too. And I always tell you that like I'm a huge nature person, and I find it very interesting that amongst the animals and the animal kingdom, you always see that whoever's going to be the one that's going to be leading that pride, like with lions, or that troop, like with gorillas, whatever you want to call it, they always seem to be the ones. They're going to like, well, I'm gonna let these dudes hash it out, but whoever's going to be the strongest one to get the female's attention, those females actually, I want the man, I want the stronger one, I want the one that's the most dominant, I want the one that's the most authoritative, because I know that represents protection. I know that represents safety, but like it's the opposite now. They actually are pushing women to actually go after men that are actually going to be real soft towards them. You know, and it's like I said, me and my wife talk about all kind of different things all the time. We actually do like marriage counseling, different things like that. And people know it's like, man, Ty, my wife is, dude, 21 years. I love my wife to death. I'm not no woman. You listen to me. But I do know my place that as a man, my number one thing is to protect my family. My number one thing is to lead my family in the right direction. My number one thing is to make sure that they're safe, make sure that they are provided for. I don't care what people say all day long. My wife, when we first got married, she already had her degree. I was coming out of high school. She was already out of college. And when I was going to school full time with 21 credit hours, told my wife, this is them. If you want to work, that's completely up to you. But if not, I'm going to take care of my family. Went to college from 7 in the morning to noon. Okay. Then I had a break for lunch. We had track practice because I was on the full ride scholarship. I had track practice from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I would leave track practice and go to work at 3:30 and work till 11 o'clock at night, while having my wife and my son. And then I ended up having another son. Both my sons were born before I even finished college. So what I'm saying therefore is that something has been lost for men to actually still stand their ground, still be strong. Not saying that women can't voice their opinion or anything like that, but to still stand strong and say, okay, I'm the leader, I'm the protector, I'm the provider, I'm the authority figure in the house. Because kids recognize this too. My wife, my sons are growing up. She can, don't you do that? They'll sit there, yeah, okay, mom, let me come in there and say, wait, what you just, they even recognize that authority in men. So that's what I'm saying. But it's a huge push for us not to be like that. That's toxic masculinity now. BS.
Thank you so much, Modern Renaissance Man. Guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Guys, thank you so much for coming out on this Saturday. It's July 2nd. Happy White History Month. Guys, if you can, in the chat, write an accomplishment or something of prestige that the white race has done.
Look at Prime.
You got to stop with this game of always trying to knock white people like they haven't done anything. They've done great things. The aqueducts, the Colosseum of Rome, space travel. They introduced the computer age. They introduced the revolutionary age, the revolution. Prime time. Salute to you, sir. What say you first about the Brittney Griner? We're on the Brittney Griner topic. What do you think about him and his situation over in Russia? Go ahead. And Bob, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. Bob, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Gonna buy a lot of water with that. Thank you so much. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
You have a great mic, great setup. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Shout out to you, Kelly. Good show. Good show.
Absolutely.
You two security boss, Renaissance man, and shout out to the patriarchy. Good brother. Good brother. As far as Brittney, I really try not to make this an echo chamber because I know you said that plenty of times. Don't make this an echo chamber, but man, bro, it's like what she got caught with. I don't in that regard, because I smoke sometime too. I'm not a huge advocate of weed, but I smoke sometime too. She shouldn't got all those years, but as far as over here in America of how we're trying to free her because of racism and everything. Oh yeah, in that aspect, yeah, she should get 20 years or more because of accountability from that aspect. Not what she got caught with, but the fact that nobody likes holding women accountable, as I said in the chat. So well in the StreamYard chat over there, yeah, like
how come LeBron is not going to the Kremlin to protest?
He's probably right now fixing on worry about his hometown, because right now in Akron, Ohio, there's like a
shooting,
police officer. Yeah. So he probably fixing on saying, you know, they're targeting us, like the whole Micaiah Bryant, whatever.
Oh wow, but he don't want to say nothing about that white boy that got beat to death by some black dudes.
Right by his school.
Right by the school.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I see you in the back, Mel. Give me a second, Mel. It's like one at a time tonight. Go ahead.
Crazy. But yeah, like, you know, it's as far as Brittney, it's mainly because she's a black woman. Because I always ask everyone this, like, would we be outraged if she were white, or she were Asian, or she was Hispanic?
Not really. No. So it's
that
white girl was in prison in France for years. What was the white girl that was in prison? It was years ago. She had committed a crime like murder or something. I can't remember her. See, that's what I'm saying. You guys don't even.
The fact that I don't even know. You might have a little bit insight, but the fact that I don't even know, I'm pretty sure Renaissance and security boss don't know. You see how as black people are outraged it speaks louder than anyone else's outrage. That's why it's a big story, because we're the loudest group. Like, we're the most outraged race car and everything. And I was just like, that's why I'm just like, I can understand if people, our community usually say, hey, free someone else for a different race consistently. But the fact that she's a black woman, yeah, it's a trend. It's just a trend to me. It's just like Renaissance Men said, we're just saying online, barely no action, everything. Prayer, even what's his name? My Son, one of the rappers with Tamika Mallory, they were one of the key points of the Breonna Taylor and everything, George Floyd. Them clowns, as real Nathan Daniels said, they're clowns because My Son wanted in Manhattan wanted to do a prayer for Brittney Griner and here in New York. And I was just like, what is a prayer gonna do? So he's part of the outraged woke mob, the sensitive oppression Olympics, should I call them, because they just outraged for almost everything that's black.
SB.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. How can I help you?
You have anything to say to what Prime is saying?
I just think we should prosecute for her. She should be found guilty first, and then prosecute for her crime. I don't think it should be in excess because she's a black woman. I do think it's very embarrassing that she would go over there being rebellious. I do think that's very, very, very bad. It's not a good look, not a good representation. But that's not a crime.
Right. Like I said before, as far as weed and everything, is that too excessive? Yes. But the fact that nobody likes to hold women accountable, no, she should suffer in that regard. That's my opinion.
I can add something to that too. I can add this to it. Now, what a lot of people don't know either is I just noticed, because like I said, when I had a background story to the different 5 languages that I speak, and Russian being one of them. So I know the culture quite a bit because I got a lot of people as international. And one thing about Vladimir Putin himself, they should have warned this girl already before they even let her come over there that they are not even, they don't recognize it. They don't care what you think about it. They are not about LGBTQ. So what I was saying, the fact that they even allowed her to even come and play on the team, knowing that the customs of Russia is not about that at all. Like, it's damned there. So, I would say, why did they let her even come over to join the team?
Well, not to join or group everybody into one box, but isn't probably the Russian team the same?
What do you mean?
They're gay?
The African? No, they're not.
No, if the Russian women that are over there, if they are found to even be somewhat like that, they are not only are they going to be stripped of, they're being a player, but they are going to be put off somewhere where you probably won't hear from them again. Not saying they will kill them, but they definitely will be shamed and put somewhere far off.
So you saying all the women players of the Russian team are straight women? There are no gay women on the Russian team.
If they are, it's definitely in secret, and it's definitely not. It's something that's not open. And if they get caught, and they're gonna have to face the repercussions of being like that, because they do not.
Sounds like militant players.
Hey, Prime, thank you so much. We got a lot of people in the back, man. We're just doing one by one tonight, but I probably will do a panel. We got Mel next. We got We Watch, Talk, and Act, and Dame. Salute to you, Prime. But before you go, Prime, I have to ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10,
okay, with
10 being the best or the prettiest, what would you give Brittney Griner?
Oh shit! You really gonna do this?
Yeah.
She's 5'10" and she got big arms. Go ahead. That's a whole lot of woman.
You make it as worse security.
Whole lot of woman. A whole lot of woman.
Okay, I'm not gonna go negative, so I'll be nice. I'll give her a 1. I'm being nice. I could have gone negative, but I'll be 1. Yeah.
So wait a minute. What if it was between her and Lightfoot? Which one?
If oatmeal and mashed potatoes was mixed together.
Ooh, oatmeal.
I'll pick Brittney more. I'll break Brittney 0.2 over Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah.
I'll put a 0.2 points. I'm not gonna go so far. They're in the same class, so 0.2. Brittney is 1, and Lori Lightfoot is 0.8.
Oh, you gonna give it that? I thought you was going like more like a negative one, like in the middle.
It's
like,
a nice.
Nice.
Gotta respect the sisters.
Thank you so much, Prime.
Peace out, man.
Come
Good
back
show,
to the
good
panel
show.
if you can.
Absolutely.
Yep. Cosmic Dream 1990. I'm assuming he or she was born in 1990. With the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Bob with the comment saying she's a political pawn, but no one in America really cares about her with any political power. Absolutely not. But Trump would have gotten her out of jail. Please, guys, wait in the back. Mel, what's up? You've been waiting for like 2 hours.
Wait. You said Trump would have gotten her out?
He would have tried to, at least. If she was patriotic.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I got you.
Yeah, I thought I
got
said. Mel, what's going on?
How you doing?
Mel,
you've been waiting 2
on,
hours, but you can only talk for a few minutes because we had a lot of people in the back. But what's going on? What say you about Brittney Griner?
I was waiting that long, but they had me up. Yeah, I don't sound too loud, man.
No, I can't hardly hear you at all.
Oh, turn the volume up a little bit. Give me a second. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. How it sound?
It's a little better.
far away, Mel, but we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Now I have the mic too close to you.
No, you might want to get closer to it.
Hello? How I sound?
Decent.
Decent? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. With the Brittney Griner Brittney, last name again?
Griner.
Yeah, her situation. Yeah. Y'all mentioned earlier why you don't see Black Lives Matter, Al Sharpton, even the LGBTQ community going over there in mass numbers. I got 2 reasons for that. One reason is they know where their power, ends. They know their power only relies in the U.S. Once they leave the states, they ain't got power like that over there. Think about like a person in the hood who always talks so much trash so much in his neighborhood. But you take him out his neighborhood and his environment, put him in another neighborhood, he's not gonna talk as much trash as he was because he has no power over there. So it's the same way, like Al Sharpton, they're not gonna go over there, but they power. Black Lives Matter, of course, definitely they're not gonna go over there to fight like that. They got no power over there like that. Second big factor is they don't see no money being made in their part. We gonna go over there. How we gonna make money out of this? I mean, think about what happened with Black Lives Matter. Most of the money that was made was over here. Even though all 2020, 2021, yeah, we saw all the countries screaming Black Lives Matter, but the organizations running the U.S. or the funding stuff was running the U.S. and stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got all the countries may have jumped in for a situation like that, but didn't really know the full grasp of it. But their money was being made in the U.S. They know where their power relies. Al Sharpton, even the LGBTQ community knows if we gonna go over there and do a fight over there, we gotta see if we can make some money over this for our organization. And there's no money being made for them on their part. Where they gonna benefit by going over there to another country when they know they got no power over like that. They know the laws over there like that and everything. And technically, in a way, they know for a fact, reality, she broke the law. You're bringing substance in another country, but you're not supposed to do that. I mean, there's laws and rules for that. I mean, it's just like there's other countries that said you can't bring outside fruits and everything into another country. There's a reason why. If she wanted to smoke weed, she should have bought it in the country where she was traveling to. You don't bring U.S. weed to Russia's weed and everything, because they may make it differently. They don't want to, interrupt, the environment, behind that also too and everything. So it's like you bring your outside substance over here. You could just wait over here and put the substance over here. I mean, while you was in here, you bring it outside in here in our country now. That's a no-no and stuff. So she broke the law. Like, I'm sorry. It's the big problem is we keep trying to enforce our laws in the U.S., our rights in the U.S. onto other countries. They have their own laws and rights over there. What goes on in the U.S. goes in the U.S., and that's all we can fight over here. Goes on outside, we can't enforce our rules and regulations over to another countries and everything because they run their stuff differently, and there's reasons why. So whether they feel that the maximum sentence she's going to get, I'm sorry, she's going to have to get it. Now, the force with Trump would not at all go over there and get her out. Period.
So Mel, you brought up a good you brought up a good question or something that I hadn't thought about. So has she been charged with? She hasn't been charged with any trafficking or anything. This is just like a small amount for her, right?
Possession.
It's just possession, or is it because she hasn't been charged with any like trafficking or anything, right?
I don't know, but they might make it that way if it looks like it kind of looks like that. Like she was trafficking other substance from another country into hers because they found it in her bag at the airport, right?
Yeah, but if you're talking about trafficking, that's a whole different situation. I didn't know it was that much. I just saw a little Ziploc bag of something.
But even still, yeah, like they don't. It's kind of like that over here in a way. When you travel, they see something like that in your bag, they gonna confiscate you and the bag and stuff like that and put you in hold. You're traveling with illegal substances and everything at the airport and stuff. So that they probably taking as that. If there's trafficking, they trafficking laws is way stricter than it is over here for the sentencing. They don't play.
Mel, I got to get to the next callers, man. But thank you so much, man.
Thank you, everyone. Everybody have a good night. Great night.
Yep.
Bye, Auntie Ball.
See you, Mel.
All right, we got We Watch, Talk, and Act. We got Dame. We got a few more other people. I know Dame has been patiently waiting. Watch, Talk, and Act. You've been doing it. You've been waiting for 2 hours. What's going on?
I'm fine. How's everybody doing?
Real good. Happy White History Month. Could you name me an accomplishment or an achievement of the white race?
Destroying the African diaspora of the world.
Let me get you up out of here. Let me bring up Dame. Get you up out of here. No, let me bring you back, sir. Come on, man. Come on. I said an achievement, sir. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I'll give you an example. The International Space Station.
And the only difference is we didn't have the
sir, can you be positive? Be the negative Nancy.
I wish I could be positive about what they've done. They've destroyed the earth. So I mean, what's to be positive about? But when it comes to this Brittney Griner situation, I think I have a little bit of sympathy for her in this regard that they're mistreating her. However, her acts in this life that she's had, I disagree with how she's, conducted herself because it goes against the laws of nature. The reason why nobody's coming to save her is because first and foremost, she's a black woman. They don't see value of life in black women. Now, maybe if she was a European woman with blonde hair and blue eyes, maybe they would see more of value to her life and it'll be more national news. And another thing the black community has to stop doing is promoting homosexuality the way we do. It's destroying us. And that is a weapon that they've used to depopulate us on purpose. That's one of their goals. So if we continue to promote LGBTQ like they want us to do, we're going to constantly see the separation of men and women, the constant iniquity toward one another. This is all planned. And we have to understand that we need each other. Black men and women need each other. We can't constantly fight and bicker amongst one another when they have huge plans for us. And that's to make us even more obsolete than what they've already considered us.
I want to throw something out there, a little bit of pushback, Mr. Watch Your Talking Act. You said the reason why it's not, I guess, really known is because her skin color.
And not only that, but her sexuality as well.
Right. So could it be possible that because she's in a high power place like Russia, who highly frowns down on that Russia wouldn't care what we thought because they're going to still do what they do regardless of what her skin color is, what Russia's going to do.
Russia's going to do that, but I'm not talking about Russia. I'm talking about America not coming to her defense.
Right. So what I'm saying, though, is with it, let's just say if America did come to her, let's just say if she was a blonde haired woman that was pale skinned, looked just like a Russian herself, and it was a huge outcry. What difference would it make if Russia's like, we can care less about what any Americans, y'all whole country think about us because we still gonna prosecute her according to our laws?
If Russia does that, then so be it. But America would find some kind of economical way to do what they do. Trust me.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I just want to throw that question out there, just kind of as in your thought, because I know the way Russia does things. I can tell you right now, what we know about Griner is only a little bit of what they're allowed to be released. Otherwise, guarantee you that they're doing stuff in private that we don't know about, and we will not find out until facts come out. Like whether she gets sentenced or whether she don't, or whether we might look up one day. Breaking news: Brittney Griner is actually on a plane on her way back to the United States. We're gonna be left like, wait, okay, what the heck happened? Because they really do a lot of stuff that they're gonna keep this out of the news. Trust me.
My thing is this, especially when it comes to dealing with the news, the fact that they put the LGBTQ community over all of our issues that are very important to us, that's where it becomes a problem, because now they're starting to try to identify LGBTQ struggles, which really aren't any, compared to our struggle, which was slavery. Even though we're more than that, we were here before that, but they constantly want to compare the two like they're the same struggle, and it's not. And so that's why we have to be very careful, because we're walking a thin line with that.
Yeah, they try to put us in the same boat when we're not.
Right.
That's very true. That last statement was true. But I do have a question. What did the white man do? He ruined the earth. Did I hear you say that?
In modern times, what we're talking about, he's ruining the earth, and he's going to be responsible, I believe, the author of destroying the earth.
Can I ask you a question? Watch, talk, and act.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to tell me what city. I mean, I don't know if you feel comfortable, but
I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas. Okay. You have a job, or you're an entrepreneur?
I work for a company.
Okay. When you work for a company, can I ask you a question real quick? It might be a little personal question. When you drive to work, what kind of car are you using, by the way?
Of course. Now I know exactly where you're gonna go.
No, I'm just asking the question. What kind of car do you drive? Do you have a Mercedes? You drive a BMW?
Nissan.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: the white man, according to you, has destroyed the earth, or destroying the earth. Aren't you destroying the earth every time you set foot in your car and click that ignition? Hit that ignition.
Emissions? You're talking about fuel emissions?
No. I'm just saying, aren't you? I'm saying, sir, how come you're not riding a bike to work? It's like what, 20 miles to your job? Probably less than that.
No, it's about 22.
Yeah, you can get to work on a bike. How come you don't ride a bike to work?
I could definitely do it. In fact, I was thinking about purchasing a one-wheel electric motor, little wheel thing to go to work. I was actually thinking about doing that. That's my thought precisely. So I get where you're going with it.
Okay. I was just had to ask you that.
But that's not the. I'm a small minuscule factor to. No, seriously, I'm a small
minuscule.
That's right. Compared
in terms
to
of destroying
the overall macro issue that's going on in the world. That's right.
Okay.
But don't think I won't do my part.
Oh.
Okay. But I got another question. You said that the white man was destroying the earth, and the black people were destroying what part were they destroying?
If anything, it's ourselves, because of the manipulation over time. You have to understand, we went through 1,400 plus years in the Arab slave trade, plus what we went through in America. So our minds, if anything, are far removed from Africa, and they know that if we make the push to overrule them or to reconnect with Africa, it's going to be a very big problem. You have to understand something. These people are over here right now as we speak in the Congo, killing hundreds of people over coltan.
Who's killing hundreds of people?
America and Europe.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
Let me ask you a question.
Go look it up, sir.
Let me ask you a question, because I actually dated a Congolese female in college. She spoke beautiful Lingala, which is the language in Kinshasa, or it's the main language in Congo. She never said that white people were over there killing those people. She said,
recent. I don't know when you dated her.
Sir, this was about 16 years ago. But she did say this. She said that the black individuals who own the mines sometimes beat the miners, but other than that, they don't have any white people overseeing them. I'm curious. I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were whitey over there doing that. But you just
what better way to run something than to be a shadow?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. The same way, the same thing was done. From who was it? Back when with the rubber trees and things like that. You get what I'm saying? King Leopold. He did the same. He ran that situation from where he was from, and it trickled down into Africa, and they made a profit and was rich to this very day. So these people aren't going to necessarily reveal themselves, but they will, use your own people against you in order to continue rule.
How many?
That's how it works.
Let me ask you a question, sir. How many Native Americans probably were killed on this land?
Probably millions.
Millions, right?
Probably
So
millions.
would you assume that there are some Native Americans who were killed on the property that you own right now, like on that ground?
Of course, but see, here's the thing: I can claim Native too because some of my ancestors are Native too. There you go.
What tribe is that?
Cherokee.
Okay, so if you were to cam up, you wouldn't look like me, modern Renaissance man, or security boss. Would you look like the Cleveland Indians logo?
Even the native, even the native is still from the they still have the African face. It doesn't matter. That comes from what? Southeast Africa, those who look more Asiatic. So it doesn't matter.
You're talking about the many of the tribal groups. I can't think of the name of them, but pretty much what Mandela is from, right? Or
what?
Okay, I'm a little bit off here. I'm trying to follow you here because you said something interesting. You said the white man was
talking about Indians. He's saying he would look like a
he's talking about East
Cherokee
Indian.
yeah, like beyond like the people in Montana, right? Is that what you?
What I'm talking about is the
you
phenotype.
own your home, so you don't feel guilty of owning your home on land that possibly Native Americans were killed on?
If you so-called own your home, stop paying taxes on the property.
Well, I asked you. Okay.
I'm renting an apartment, but
okay. Well, you don't feel guilty for renting
your home.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel guilty about renting a property that's on land with people that were killed in the millions?
Sir, those are my people as well. So why am I going to feel guilty for living? That is my job.
Oh,
that's my being.
Okay. So you were talking about the white man destroying the earth, but you do drive a car. And now you're talking about millions of people who were killed, and you benefit off the land that they were killed on.
I'm only a micro compared to the macro.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, I gotta ask you a question.
Small
I gotta ask you a question.
I get you.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I was saying I get you.
Oh, okay.
Chaotic was about to ask him something.
No, I was waiting on you guys to
I thought you glitched out for a minute there.
Asked you my question, so I was waiting too. So
yeah.
Listen, I'm done. I got it. I understand.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. I probably will do a panel. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Watch, talk, and act. I had no idea that the white man did all that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The whole earth. He didn't. But we're not going to talk about it because he's not here now. So
yeah, absolutely. I had no idea. Green-eyed lady wanted me to ask him something good white people have done. Laugh out loud. According to him, nothing. According to him, absolutely nothing. Guys, the link is dropped. We are approaching the 3.5 hour mark. Guys, thank you for all the cash apps, the super chats. I even got a PayPal actually. Thank you so much, guys. SB, do you want to say anything else more about the Brittney Griner case or anything else? Anything else that's going on in America?
Oh, that's a pretty wide situation. Brittney Griner, I just want to make sure that she goes through the proper trial, and if she's found guilty, then I agree with definitely her doing, the time or whatever is associated with her being guilty. But I do think that she does need some support. I really do.
I would be called a moderate for this, but I don't agree that she deserves to be in prison for 20 years.
I don't either.
Despite the fact that she's unpatriotic, she's still an American, and I would say give her a year or two, time served, ban her from ever coming back to Russia. That's what I would say. Guys, we are approaching the 3.5 hour mark. I don't know if you guys want to still rock it out, but I certainly do. Do you guys want to do a panel? Do you think we're capable of handling a panel? SB, are you good? You've been a great host tonight.
I really don't think at this length of time that I could actually do a panel.
We don't have to do one if you don't want to, but
I'm sorry, because
yeah, we don't have
panels
to do one. Yeah, we don't have to do one. Well, how about if they're white?
that doesn't matter to me.
Well, you know how white people are when they come over here. They're orderly. They don't cut each other off. Let's be honest. It's just observing nature.
Considering it's White History Month.
White History Month, and we know that whites are good at panels. If they're white, we could do a panel.
Oh Lord,
let's agree with that.
I'll be game for it.
Yeah. You said what now, moderator?
I said I'll be game for it, but I was just gonna tell you, like when I do it, I make sure. I mean, just to let them know. You know, like when they're in the back, I call it the green room.
Yeah.
Look, I let them know, guys. Yeah. If y'all are being little, y'all know what y'all do. Yeah. I'm muting you. If you take offense to that, that's your fault because I warned you. So man, I was gonna say, okay, I mute them when they do that.
Absolutely, guys. We will be doing a panel, a whites only panel. But if you are black, you can still call in.
I'm identifying as white then.
Right. Well, you guys are honorary whites today, but one by one. The fact of the matter is that we already know that if you got a black panel, you mute a nigga, he's gonna unmute himself. You know, am I lying, SB?
Look,
they can't go right on a panel and they will unmute themselves.
They should be able to.
Listen, I got to shout out to my people over at SB Nation. They come in, they come in and acting right. So I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay.
You know that might not be everywhere you go. I'm just saying they pretty good. They do get excited sometime though. But so listen, I'm going to try this. But I'm not making any guarantees. But this way, I could fade out, or I could fade to black, and nobody would know I was gone, right?
Yeah. SB, I don't think you know what you get yourself into coming to a conservative panel with black men or me. But yes, snowflakes. We are doing. It's not snowflakes. Angry Snowman. We are doing a whites only panel to celebrate White History Month, guys.
But what if they identify with white, though? I mean, we're doing that, right?
Yeah, buddy. Like I just told you, I do. So I particularly want to be in on this one, please, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, let me be in on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Brittney Griner. Yeah. Again, guys, I believe that Brittney Griner is absolutely guilty, but I don't believe that she should be used as a political pawn in a very dangerous situation that has been taking place in Russia and the Ukraine. By the way, Vladimir Putin is one of the greatest leaders in the 21st century. We have a few people in the back that were already up here one by one. I'm waiting for new people to come to talk to before I give them dibbles and dabs. But guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have not, go to Unsolicited Boss and subscribe. And also go to Modern Renaissance Man and subscribe. Security Boss, do you have anybody in your back that would like to call in?
I don't know. Let's see, guys.
Your link was dropped when you're in, yeah.
I think we've been dropping it the whole time. So I've seen a few. I don't know. Mel's person that's on my channel, the Gray Pill Podcast, Mandrell. All of them are supporting.
Oh, you were using my StreamYard link. Okay, I got you.
I was taking your stuff. You didn't even know it.
Absolutely. Let me see.
That's what black women do.
Absolutely. Gold Standard says, I'm Sicilian and I identify as white. Salute to you. Let's see here. Why do you think we don't want to talk about anybody while they left? Well, I will. The gentleman who could not come to terms with my questions, you run across a lot of these types of blacks. These are the blacks that they will work for the white man, drive a BMW, get a loan from the white man's bank. He probably lives in a 10-bedroom house in a white community, but they will still tell you that racism exists because they have watched 12 Years a Slave. They've watched Roots.
Amistad,
and they want to be oppressed so bad. It's like, please oppress me. And unfortunately, you don't know about slavery. You never lived during those times. And
don't know nobody.
Yeah, you don't know anybody. And then you're saying things like the white man has damaged the earth, all the while you're driving the white man's car. So you're participating in the very same system that you're saying is destroying the planet. But then he tried to justify it by saying that he's a micro aspect to a macro problem, just like a Pan-Africanist. I think the guy's a Pan-Africanist. And if he would like to camp back up, please do. I don't mind rocking with you. I think you were a good panelist. Guys, You want to talk?
Yeah, micro. Yeah, that sounds good. But then a microorganism, something can do damage to your whole body.
That's
Some
absolutely
you said it might be micro, but it still is attributing to the destroying of the earth. Now, what I got to say about that, because I'm a big, huge, with the medical degree and everything, our thing was biology, science major. It's pretty much our thing, and I absolutely love that stuff. And the earth, there is nothing right now that you guys can see or touch that did not come from the earth. I mean, the cameras that we're looking at right now, it came from the ground. The cars we drive, it all came from the ground. And one thing they told us when we was actually going through this was some of the most basic stuff. Energy never goes anywhere. I'm pretty sure you heard that before. Energy, everything that's here has always been here, will not be leaving here. And the reason why I say that is because the earth has always and will always take care of itself. It doesn't need us to do anything. So I know that there are things out there saying, the carbon and all this stuff that's been produced in mass production is going to destroy the earth. I have yet to see that. I thought we were supposed to be under like a bunch of water in Florida already from the ice shelves melting and all that. All these things were supposed to happen, and it has not happened. Then it's going to get told like they do about a lot of other things. Oh, it's not going to happen in your time, but it's going to happen. Oh, it's probably going to happen when your children are in their 50s. Then by the time my children are in their 50s, they're going to be saying the same as that. It's going to be a new thing. So that's what gets me about this, is that I want to believe that these things are actually going to do something to destroy the earth, but the way that the Bible that I believe in, no, it's not going to happen. And then the people will not be able to come back and tell me this is not going to happen, because by that time they'll be dead. So they won't be able to say, hey, I told you, Ty, because it's not going to happen. I'm saying that right now on July 2nd of 2022, the earth is never going to be destroyed. And as long as these YouTube channels and stuff are still around, if it happens, we're going to go live and say, Ty, while the earth is being destroyed right now, you were wrong. So
it was one thing that you did not mention. You did mention it, but every living organism has energy. So that goes to what you're saying. We won't control of this.
No.
So,
Angry Snowman, you can unmute. Angry Snowman, are you there? He has not unmuted him. You have to unmute Angry Snowman. Angry Snowman. Go on. Okay. Happy White History Month.
Dude, don't talk to me with that commie crap.
You don't believe in White History Month, sir?
No.
Why
I
not?
don't believe in White History Month, Black History. I think all that History Month shit's stupid. And it's all
you believe. Okay, how about this? You believe that it's stupid, but give me an achievement of the white race.
They enslaved millions of black people.
Let me get you up out of here. Okay? Thank you, sir.
No, I'm just joking.
No,
I'm just joking.
I know you are. So, Angry Snowman, let me ask you a question. What do you think about Brittney Griner? The situation with Brittney Griner. Would you date Brittney Griner? By the way,
isn't she a dude? Isn't that the girl over? Isn't that the girl over in Russia?
That is the girl from Russia, sir. She is currently on trial right now.
Wow, good job, Candice. You actually are referring to her as she.
Yeah,
he said she a dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, isn't that a trans woman?
No, that's an actual. She's a born female, sir.
I thought she was a trans woman for some reason. My fault.
No, sir. No, because if a trans woman would be able to dunk.
Oh, yeah, I guess you got a point there.
They would be able to do a tomahawk dunk, which she cannot do. Now, by the way, sir, she is currently on trial right now. She's facing 10 years in prison. What say you, sir? Now, she's also disrespected America multiple times. What say you about her? Go ahead.
I say we wait and see what Russia decides to do with her. You know, she went over to another country and decided to break their laws. This ain't in America's hands no more. You know, and every one of us, when we get a passport and decide to go to another country, we all risk that. I mean, everybody's watched Locked Up Abroad.
Yeah, it scared me to death when I was a kid watching that. Go ahead.
You know, but the truth of the matter is being that Russia is what Russia is, that was kind of a dumb move to bring, marijuana across country boundaries, not just, city or state boundaries, but country boundaries. I mean, that's international trafficking now.
Yeah.
So she'll be lucky if she doesn't do some time.
Yeah.
But I don't see, I'm not one for spending any more tax dollars to get these idiots out of jail. I mean, if you want to spend tax dollars on saving somebody, why don't you go over there and free, what's his name, Edward Snowden? How about you bring him back and exonerate him because he was a patriot and he told the American people what the CIA and NSA was doing to them behind their back. That's a real patriot.
Point. Please expound on that. Good point. And you're absolutely right.
Well, you know, he's been sitting over there as a political refugee for 15 years now?
Yep.
And all he did was warn the American people that let them know that look, the CIA and the NSA and the FBI, they're all using your devices. I know this because I'm the one that wrote the software for them to be able to spy on you. They're spying on every one of you in this country. You know, and that was his job to do. That's what a real patriot does. That's what a real American does when they let the American people know that their government is actually up to no good and spying on them. You know, but he's been sitting over there. His family, his life's been ruined. His family life's been ruined. Everything about. I mean, imagine being in his shoes right now.
Are we talking about Brittney Griner?
No, I'm talking.
I'm joking. I'm joking. We're not talking about Brittney Griner. No, it was a joke. It was a joke.
I know. I can handle jokes too, CT.
No, Brittney Griner is, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, man. People get all butthurt and they're worrying about and trying to advocate for the wrong shit.
Yeah.
You know, like people try and sit and argue and say that Edward Snowden was a traitor to the nation. No, he was not. Absolutely not. You know, if you go by what the Constitution says, it is every American right to let us know when our government is becoming tyrannical, and it is right of the people to alter or abolish said government and make new ones. You know, he was just doing his right as a patriot, man.
Sir,
but yeah, we're sitting here.
Are you being white right now and doing some work?
No.
What are you doing?
Well, that kind of.
Okay, you sound like you're doing carpet.
Kind of off and on, dude. You know, I was in between. I have like 3 acres of land, so it took me like almost all afternoon to mow it. Okay. And then I'm getting stuff ready to pull the radiator out of my car and flush it.
Okay, well, hey, Angry Snowman, thank you so much. You got other callers in the back. We probably will do a panel, so call back in, okay?
I will.
Absolutely, guys. That was Angry Snowman on the ones and twos. We have Prime in the back. He's been in the back patiently waiting. Go ahead, sir. You're on mute.
Prime has already been here.
Prime has already been here. That is correct. Guys, anything you want to say, guys?
I think this has been an absolutely outstanding show. Everybody's been so kind doing this nice White History Month, and it's been a mixed panel, and everybody's been so, it's good. Chaotic. It's good over here. I might come back and visit one day. And I've met a nice young man here, modern Renaissance man.
Yeah.
All of us are married, so we're sending out a very good example of how nice it is to have a significant other, spouse. So this is good for me.
Absolutely. I don't know if you want to wrap it up.
I do.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Any last words?
My last words is, again, thank you so much for having me here. I'm kind of going with Eric a little bit and Mr. Logic I think it was Eric and Mr. Logic, maybe someone else. Eric the most, though, on the eugenics. We do kind of always use that. It is very, very much, we should actually teach the younger generation to use eugenics, because we would be better off if we had more training, I should say, on picking and selecting the people who we decide to mate with. Actually, being married would be, the ultimate. We wouldn't even have a desire to delete or terminate children if that was the case. So again, it goes back to education, the Roe versus Wade thing, the turnover. It wouldn't even be a conversation if we could just educate the younger generation on how important it is to, first of all, to have sex, what you're actually doing, and then to let them know what it actually means to do this and the purpose of it. We wouldn't have this problem. So that brings me to the eugenics being something that we always do. Next thing, Ms. Griner, I am going to wait before I throw her completely away to see if she's guilty, because it could be definitely a political thing, and she could be just caught up in a situation, because it's, the more I'm hearing about it, chaotic, you said that she was moving within Russia. I thought maybe she was coming from the United States going to Russia. So all that is different. If she's already there, then it wasn't drugs that she got from the United States. It was drugs she got from there. So it's all just not making too much sense to me. I have not been following, but it just got started. So maybe we'll see a big difference in what's going to happen. But again, I'm gonna let her get her just due, her trial before I say anything. But if she's found guilty, then she should have to face the charges of whatever it is. And chaotic, I don't think the 10 years is what we should give someone where it has nothing to do with us, though. We're going to let Russia do that, and they will make an example out of her.
Absolutely.
But it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
I appreciate your comment section. Look, SB Nation has done an outstanding job tonight. I appreciate you guys for coming over and supporting myself and Chaotic. And you all have a excellent night. And thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. If you have not yet, please go over to SB Nation or Security Boss Unsolicited and subscribe to the channel. And make sure y'all keep giving those thumbs up to make sure you get those likes up for the algorithm. And you all have a fantastic night.
Thank you so much.
Do the same,
SB.
sis.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Guys, that was Unsolicited Security Boss on the ones and twos. She has been an excellent host for the night. We have Corn Pops in the back. Corn